Dude, that's fucking epic, dude.
Audible.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 2 of Black Ink and Blue Blood. When we last left off, the party formulated a plan with now seeming ready to take a long-term retirement. Peacekeeper Officer Joseph Voter helped Neon, former Peacekeeper, make a plan. The party will disguise themselves as servants to infiltrate an ongoing wedding being held at Foxfire Towers. Taking advantage of sliding under the unassuming eyes of the people of Upper Edict, the party will slip up into the more defended parts of the network tower, and with any luck, make it past the security systems, whatever those may be.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on.
And Neon will have a digital face down with Dr. Empire Coulomb, who holds the entire population of Edict's life in his hands. And if worse comes to worse, if Coulomb manages to kick Neon out of the network, the party has a backup plan. They have secured an electromagnetic bomb with a blast radius big enough to knock out power to the tower. But in the process, anyone whose life depends on their prosthetics that are connected to the network, their prosthetics will fail and they will die, including Joseph Voter himself. With that, you're all in the lobby of the Sweet Honey Hive. Joseph Voter has gotten the information to get you guys equipped with suits and various niceties, and the Queen Bee has placed the electromagnetic bomb you requested in a warehouse near the elevator to take you into Upper Edict, where you guys will smuggle it up into Upper Edict, and with any luck, get the chance to deploy it, should things not go according to plan. You're gonna have to use Jared's mic.
Oh my god.
I heard none of that.
Yeah, just a mess.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. What I was saying is I'd like it to be known that Lucian is going to use Guy's self to take on the persona of Winona. Her name from her.
Okay. Bear in mind, disguise self. Disguise self only lasts for an hour. So do you want to use that now, or use it when you get there? What's the plan?
Yeah, I'll do it before like it's time.
Okay. With that, is there anything anyone wants to do in the time you have before Voter drops off your servants' uniforms and he and the Queen Bee start making their way to the elevator?
Am I downstairs yet?
Yeah, I will say that's actually a good segue. Gil, will you do me a solid and make me 2 Constitution saving throws?
Oh
wait, what the hell?
Dude, he's gonna die.
Saving throws?
Yes.
Yeah. Drink all that dangerous liquid.
God fucking damn it.
Bill Sauls.
So, the first one is a natural 20.
Okay.
The second one is a 9.
Okay.
I would have laughed if the first one's a natural 20 and the second one is a natural 1.
It happens.
Yep. And
It was a natural 2.
were you taking Star Blast or Underdark Honey? I think it was Honey, but I want to double check.
No,
No.
he took Star Blast.
He took the honey. I took
Yeah.
the Star Blast.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. With that said, then, Gil, you wake up late, at least by your standards, and you have a splitting headache. Your addiction has not gotten significantly worse because of that success, but while you were taking it and then started to wean yourself a little bit off as the day of the wedding drew closer, your withdrawal suddenly kind of kicked in, and you feel horrible. You have a splitting headache, and you are basically feeling incredibly irritable.
Perfect.
Well, I hope I get to hit something today.
Throw him at the enemy. Shake him up and throw him at him.
Yeah.
Just check him off the tower.
Making your way downstairs, the lights of the lobby only make your headache worse. The rest of you see Gil arrive much later than the rest of you and looking incredibly disheveled.
What are you looking at?
I'm sure I'm more than familiar with how he's looking.
Yeah, given that you had a near fatal addiction to the same drug, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna kind of cross my arms. And why are you trying to be addicted?
Says the addictive person.
Who is still currently addicted to Underdark Honey, by the
Yep,
way.
yep, no, she didn't say it was right. She didn't say it was wrong. She's just
Listen,
pointing
Matthew.
it out.
What's up?
I'm going to guess that Caleb would not be able to buy some of that honey.
You can
I
try.
already
No,
bought-
you bought some the other night, remember?
Yeah, I bought 6 jars.
I think you
Yeah, and
tried a little bit, right?
Yeah, you bought enough to try, and they said they'd be willing to give you some. They basically, you can't do their normal services, but they are willing to give you some.
Yeah, I feel like Caleb would have enjoyed that trip.
Okay. But yeah, so does anyone have any last minute errands they want to run?
Is there a way that he could go and get some shades or something, like glasses to cover up to block the light?
Yeah, I'll say for a decent set of sunglasses, 4 coppers.
Matthew,
I'll put down a silver.
Okay. And what's
have
up?
you seen the prices for sunglasses?
Yeah, but the prices down here for them are relatively reasonable.
I was like,
I
you don't need
imagine
it.
there's much of a need.
Yeah, like who in the fucking Underdark is buying sunglasses?
You know?
Selling them.
You know, that is a very good point.
With that said, yeah, Gil, you head into the surrounding city area, and
I think you said they're like shops that just seem to have assorted random shit on the surface.
yeah,
Probably at one of those shops.
yeah. But yeah, so with that said, does anyone have any other last minute errands they want to run before voter returns with your uniforms?
Not me.
For now, I'm good.
Okay.
Gil's just gonna put all of his weapons and stuff. Says it would be really weird to show up armed to a wedding into his bag of holding.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one thing I was thinking about is
I'll also have it noted that I do have my Jiva one, but I also have the Marzana one out as well, since I am, donning the the thing. My brain decided to quit. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. All right.
Matthew.
What's up?
If Caleb put his scimitar into the bag of holding, would he lose advantage on initiative?
I don't believe so, but let me double check. But it usually, because usually items will specify if they stop working when they're in another plane. So, The weapon does have to be on your immediate person.
Oh, I thought if he's still attuned to it, it would be fine.
Well, it's not about attunement. It basically has to be on you to be able to, wake you up and give you those magical benefits.
Yeah, like say, hey, out loud. You're stupid.
Hey, wake up. You're about to be ambushed, moron.
I think Caleb would be able to conceal the scimitar of warning.
Certainly wouldn't be easy, but you can certainly try.
Like, does it have do swords come with like a sheath in D&D?
Typically, yes, but you still have to hide the sheath itself. So at the end of the day, it's not really doing you any favors.
Put it over his back, and then his clothes will hide it.
You can try.
I mean, it's kind of up to you whether that works or not. So,
well, I mean,
it's up to the rolls.
Yeah, like you have to do a sleight of hand to make sure it goes past them enough. Probably.
Yeah,
So
think about it. If you put a sword on your back, you're still going to see the handle protruding over your shoulder.
Well, it depends on how much.
Anywhere near you
depends on how big the blade is, I guess. But
so basically, much like many things, it'll just come down to rolls if you're willing to try. That being said, if nobody else has any errands. A couple hours pass. The wait in the lobby is quiet and tense. At the moment, the Sweet Honey Hive is not closed, but just quiet. There's not anybody at the counter at the moment, and the building is relatively quiet. Although, from those of you who have seen weddings from your homelands, you imagine the Sweet Honey Hive will likely be pretty packed afterward. So likely as not, the Queen Bee is just staving off for now and planning to exploit it later. So you're left alone in the lobby to pace, plan, and wait. Eventually, the noise of it kind of startling all of you as there aren't really much conversation. Voter enters, still donned in his Peacekeeper uniform, and deposits a somewhat on the large side, but not huge box in the center of the lobby, and gives all of you a nod. All right, this has all of your uniforms. It should fit all of you more or less. I made sure yours, and he points to you, Gil. I made sure the sleeves and gloves were a little on the big side. Otherwise, your wounds there are going to draw attention.
Yeah, thanks.
No promises, but one step at a time. Do you want me to wait for you guys at the elevator, or just head up to Upper Edict and meet you at the tower?
I say wait at the elevator.
All right. All right. I'll see you all there then. Good luck, and try not to be seen.
Does it feel like Caleb could have... Do you think Caleb's going to have to, just go completely without armor for this? Or do you think he could hide it?
Similar to the scimitar, you can attempt to hide it under your uniform if you're willing to
That's
accept
why I'm
that.
casting disguise on
Caleb,
myself. I'm not
okay.
even going to bother.
Can Caleb put it on and see if it looks like it's going to hide it?
Make a sleight of hand check.
I think now is a good time to go ahead and get my disguise self down, so I'll do that.
Noted.
So the whole buying it.
Okay, Caleb's going to remove his armor.
Okay.
And Gil is going to unceremoniously go ahead and put on his uniform with no care of decency at the time being.
I shield my eyes.
Honestly, Caleb wasn't going to give a fuck either.
All right. Caleb and Gil start to change out of their armors and into their suits. Caleb, you do notice that while the suit, similar to Gil's, is on the baggy side, presumably voter taking into consideration that you might want to smuggle something in, or possibly just wanting to play it safe. After all, a too loose uniform is better than a too small one. You're looking at the reactions of your brother and the rest of your comrades. You're not confident that you'll be able to smuggle in your armor under the suit, as it kind of creates these bulges in the shoulders. So you settle for taking it off and donning the suit itself.
I guess now he'll try to hide his scimitar.
All right, make a sleight of hand check.
Once everybody's done, I'll describe what I look
22.
like.
Okay. Caleb, you carefully slide your sheathed scimitar essentially up the back end of your suit and take a moment to kind of look around and get a vibe of how well hidden you are. None of your comrades seem able to see it, and you feel confident that it is pretty well hidden.
Oh, what did he roll?
22.
Yeah.
He does have a pretty good sleight of hand. It's just that roll for the armor was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, luckily I can keep my gloves.
That's it. He'll also, obviously, he's not going to be taking the laser rifle, but he'll also take the dagger.
All right.
Because the dagger is literally designed to be concealed. So.
No, yeah, and I'll say, like, given that the whole point of the disguise is that it doesn't draw attention to you, and you already made a good sleight of hand roll for concealing a weapon, I'll just throw in the dagger as a freebie. So
into his inventory and
yeah, you don't have to delete them; you can just de-equip them.
Yeah.
That said, anything from the rest of you? Any attempts to smuggle something, or just any special plans?
So I'm pretty sure I gave the
I will have all of my items in my bag of holding. It should all fit just fine.
Okay.
That's a big bag.
Okay, one person at a time. Hunter, what were you saying?
Oh, if you de-equip an item, does that unattune it from you?
No. I think it just means that you aren't like actively using it, because some attuned items can't be equipped. So, and if it does, then it's purely for reference on your character sheet anyway. So, I'll say that like, basically as long, yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure I gave that book back to Zephyr, right? The one that gives you stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So, should be all right.
And let me remove that.
Zephyr, did you have something?
I'm trying to think. Like, I have my weapon already concealed. The ring shouldn't be a problem. Gloves of thievery is
dagger piercing.
the gloves. Like a lot of the stuff that the biggest thing would be my armor. Otherwise, or like a crossbow.
All right. Do you want to try and smuggle those, or just leave them behind?
Gil will offer to put him in a bag of holding for him if he'd like. So you'll have him for later.
I have. Well, the problem is if we can keep the bag of holdings. It implies that we keep.
Oh, he's got a way around that.
And secondly, I have 3 bag of holdings.
Why do you have so many bags of holding?
Because I'm super weak.
When are you ever going to need that many bags of holding?
Dude, my carry capacity is 90. I'm at 89, and that's with the bags of holdings. And I have so many stuff.
Yeah, Zephyr is literally just so physically frail that he would...
Wouldn't one bag of holding work? Like, are you seriously filling up a bag of holding?
Apparently.
I mean, it could be, yeah. It's like... You filled up... You say that didn't you fill up a bag of holding? Technical over somehow?
Well, yeah, by doing something completely ridiculous, like throwing, was it, like 10 fucking sets of armor in it?
And matching swords.
Yeah, I mean, it'll still happen.
So any attempts to smuggle anything else, Zephyr?
But is Zephyr walking around with like 20 armor sets in his bag of holding?
No, but he has heavy chains, like super heavy chains. I assume they're heavy. Magical gear, lots of it. I guess what I will do. I'm trying to think who I would give it to. Because you mentioned the sending stones are earpieces.
Yeah, just in flavor, but mechanically they're just sending stones.
Well, yeah, but the earpiece is like just easier to hide. I guess I will put one of the sending stones on, and I think who would give the most benefit. I'll give it to Neon. I'll go to Neon, and Neon, you will see him hand you what seems like an earpiece.
Oh, thank you, Zephyr.
No explanation.
And then I will put it in my ear and then turn the volume way down. Like turn the volume down to 1.
Hey, we're dying. We need backup, please. Oh my God, Caleb's dead.
I swear to God, Matthew, I will actually drive over there and kill you.
Nice ASMR.
ASMR death,
Yeah.
drives visuals.
All right. So no attempts to smuggle anything, Zephyr?
I'm gonna smuggle my armor. I have a weapon already, so that's
All right, make me a sleight of hand check.
All right, I'm good at that.
Nat 1.
Hey, even with a nat 1, that's still good. No. Ooh, close. I got a 2, so 17.
What the fuck? You have a plus 15 to sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Apparently.
My gloves, man.
Holy shit, you have almost double my sleight of hand.
My gloves give me a plus 5, and I've buffed up my sleight of hand.
And this is what I was talking about when I said rogues were good for more than just sneak attack. So what was that you rolled? 17?
Yeah, I rolled a 17, sadly. Poor roll.
Caleb, you and Lucian both can just barely tell that Zephyr is concealing anything under his suit. If it wasn't for a very slight bit of odd, hunch to the shoulders, it would be a perfect concealment.
It's like fucking Payday, where he gets some skill that lets him carry armor into the fucking stealth mission.
Yeah.
And then I'm over here just having to fucking go with just almost bare-assed.
There is an ability that does lessen concealment on armor, I believe, on Payday.
Mm. All right, Keto, anything for you?
I don't know if I'll be able to conceal anything. Because her clothes are already bulky.
Yeah.
Concealed Caro.
Yeah, conceal Caro herself.
Gale's offer still stands for anyone that needs help concealing, bringing stuff.
Looks like they're gonna have to go open Caro.
Yeah, so nothing from you, Caro?
Yeah.
Okay. You sadly but necessarily discard your diving suit, your armor, and your crossbow and change into a rather flattering for your form suit.
Does the suit get wet under their skin?
Very, very slightly, yes. The only reason it doesn't get completely soaked is because it's multi-layered, so for basically this exact reason, more or less. Neon, anything from you?
So my axe, my fucking proton lightsaber axe, how big is it?
It's fairly sizable.
I don't know, maybe I could disguise it as a cane.
You can certainly try.
No, I don't feel like that would be.
You should do you'll be like Roman. You'll have a weapon that is a cane.
Yeah.
Because of course the Peacekeepers won't recognize your own equipment.
And what about the silenced pistol that I have? How big was that?
For a regular person, it's just it's a small little pistol. It's a fairly small thing. For you, it's a little. for you, it's a little big, but you do think you could reasonably keep it concealed.
All right, cool. I'll try and conceal that then.
Yeah. All right. Make me a sleight of hand check.
Agent Neon over here with a fucking silenced pistol.
Yeah, and you got to consider that what this actually is, like in the lore, is a silenced and suppressed flintlock.
Oh god, that makes it seem so much more huge. I got an 18, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just fine.
Tactical flintlock.
Neon hiding your suppressor, which I don't think you've really made much use of up to this point.
No, I haven't. I've considered it several times, but the plasma crossbow is always stronger.
Yeah, well, now this is literally exactly what the suppressor was made for, stealth missions.
Yeah. Stealth missions. I walk in, just fucking go 47, just shoot everybody at the party so there's no witnesses.
Yeah, because since it hasn't been mentioned all that much, if you guys are curious, the suppressor has a unique ability as a weapon where whenever Neon tries to shoot someone with it, basically, unless he hits them successfully, nobody will notice he's there. So he could sit there missing a target for like an hour, but they won't notice that someone's shooting at them until he does successfully hit.
Just trying for an afternoon.
But yeah, so that said,
Is that what the pistol looks like, Matthew?
No, it's sawn down a little bit, and the suppressor is a little more vertical and a lot less horizontal. Zephyr, you glance to Neon as Neon puts your earpiece in, lowers the volume, and starts hiding their suppressor pistol in their suit. The rest of you actually can't even see it. Zephyr, again, you only get the faintest little glimpse of metal that implies Neon is carrying anything beneath their suit.
Okay, so far so good. This is gonna go horrible, but that's good.
I agree. I'll give us 3 minutes of being at the place before our cover is blown.
3? That's pretty generous.
Probably.
There you go. There's another tactical flintlock.
The suppressor is actually a lot closer in that version. All right. As Zephyr, you what weapon was it you hid, Zephyr? Or no, it was your armor you hid.
Everything else.
Zephyr hiding your armor, Neon stowing away your suppressed pistol, Caleb a knife and your scimitar, Caro leaving everything behind for now. But if worse comes to worse, you could always just poke people and poison them.
Get a fork.
Gil, what are you doing?
I am putting everything in my bag of holding, and especially all of his Star Blast. If they ask why he has a bag at the wedding, he's going to pull out the Star Blast and say that I was told to bring supplies.
Okay.
Pull out Star.
All right. And okay, so you're carrying. And for those of you who are leaving equipment behind, do you accept Gil's? You don't have to take it out of your inventory or anything because that would just make things confusing. But does anyone take Gil up on their offer to basically carry your stuff via the bags of holding so that you at least have them nearby if things go south?
I will.
The biggest thing is the crossbow. It's the only thing I don't need. Well, yeah.
All right, Caro, do you as well?
So.
Sure.
Okay. And finally, as Gil, you walk around taking everyone's stuff that they can't smuggle. Lucian, saving you for last because you said you also want to describe your illusory appearance as well. First, before you cast that spell, what are you doing vis-a-vis? Like, what are you trying to take with you and anything else?
I'm just putting all my shit into my bag of holding, because like I didn't have anything in my bag of holding in the first place, so I just put all my stuff
Caleb's.
Yeah, because I just got it, so just leave me alone.
All right. Before you start getting into describing your illusory What's up?
Something about Caleb. What happened?
Made a joke.
Oh, Lucian was just saying, like, they haven't used their personal bag of holding yet because they usually just have Caleb do it. So they're stowing all their stuff in their bag of holding. And with that said, before you get into your appearance, this goes for everyone. Make sure that your character sheets reflect what your character currently has, because I'm obviously going to need to reference that. So, basically make sure you adjust anything accordingly, because I don't want to find out that like somebody still has like an 18 AC when they're wearing nothing but a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb has only a 13 AC. How so?
That said, Lucian, as you put the last of your belongings into your bag of holding and tighten the drawstring, the rest of the party looks like they're about good to go, and you can hear some activity from the nearby hall. Presumably the mother is about ready to leave as well. What form do you take?
What is your question?
Does that mean that he can't wear his cape of protection?
You can try.
It's up to...
Yeah, just can steal a fucking
just a
cape.
Well, technically...
So, like, he's going to put it over his uniform?
I was like,
okay.
It just implies that... Are they okay
what's
with
the weather like at the moment?
Well, bear in mind, it's underground, so the weather tends to be pretty consistent. Since you guys dealt with the problem of the of the cold, the weather tends to be a fairly cool, neutral, about 70.
Mm.
So he'll claim that it's to block the wind.
Block the wind.
Okay.
Underground.
Yeah. But
yeah.
If they say anything, he'll take it off.
Okay.
What the fuck did you just roll?
Dice.
Not important. So, Lucian, as Gil tightens their cape over their suit, what form do you take via your illusory magic?
So she takes her staff and bangs it, and it becomes like a small little wand in her hand, which is really cool. And she turns into this kind of plump light elf, light brown skin and tawny brown hair, very unassuming elf, just looking like a fat elf.
Okay. And as the last preparations are made and Lucian, you take on your illusory form, the mother exits out the back rooms of the Sweet Honey Hive. You see that her form has changed once again since you last saw her. She had mentioned that she had an idea in mind that would complement her dress far better. You see Zephyr, as you glance, your eyebrows kind of shoot up reflexively as you see the queen bee has taken on the form she typically greets you with, the form of a small, somewhat pudgier than you, curvaceous female red-skinned kobold, which creates this very interesting thing where and you can imagine as Lucian, when you glance to her, because of the red of her dress and the red of her scales, you almost instinctively think she might be naked before you see the gold trim spiderweb patterns, which in turn evokes imagery of things like lingerie and much more revealing outfits. You can tell she is taking this form partially because it will get her those kinds of reactions. And she smiles at those of you who look to her and blush, and kind of waves the dress in a kind of cutesy manner, and speaks up with a familiar intonation so that those who it was not immediately obvious to can recognize who she is, but the voice itself unrecognizable. So, we all ready to go?
Yes, ma'am. And he is not blushing, by the way.
I figure it'd be best for me to accompany you guys. You are not getting that upstairs without being seen by yourselves.
What does she mean by that?
The package you requested.
Okay.
Ladies, we got a party to get to. And one by one, in this almost uniform march, the women of the Sweet Honey Hive begin to file out, all of them dressed in matching black dresses that are up to the thighs and almost skin tight. And she gives a smile, and as they basically surround her, creating this very fun image of this tiny little kobold girl leading this pack of Amazons, and looks around at all of you and claps her hands together and smiles. All right, let's get going.
And I'd like to say Gil is having a hard time keeping his eyes to himself. Because of his addiction right now, he just doesn't give a flying, about what he's doing. But so he's enjoying this sight.
You can see the elvish women who catch what you're doing. Some of them kind of roll their eyes or scoff a little bit, but you can see a few kind of wink or blow a kiss your way.
Yeah. Or
with that, filing out behind the Amazons, you all begin to make your way towards the warehouses that surround the elevator, the only way up, at least conveniently, to Upper Edict. As you all make your way, the walk is a somewhat lengthy one, and I will say, with the Amazons with you, and you notice that at a few waves and nods from the Queen Bee herself, the Amazons start to kind of flock to each one of you. Like they'll like Gil a couple, like take one, two, take your arms, one each, and just start like striking up conversation with you. Neon one bends down to you and starts like talking to you with just a broad smile on their face. All of you are approached by at least one, sometimes two of the Queen Bee's workers. The Queen Bee herself walks with you, Zephyr, and takes your hand. And as you kind of, I presume, knowing Zephyr, look at her kind of confused, she smiles at you and says, "Smile, act like we're good friends," and starts striking up conversation with you. And Neon, your eyes kind of instinctively glimpse a Peacekeeper patrol passing the opposite way you guys are going, but they kind of pass you a quick glance, and while you can see a few of them kind of roll their eyes at what they assume is an open display of debauchery, they pay you no further mind.
Oh boy, I sure love debauching. Oh boy, it's the best, isn't it? Oh boy, like I'm unconvincing shit.
Yeah, the woman walking with you kind of like pats your ears lightly and just a little more enthusiasm, dear.
No more enthusiasm.
I kind of look at my companion and I'm just like, this is awkward for both of us, isn't it?
Oh, it's nothing I'm not used to. You recognize the one walking with you as the one you had shared the honey dream with.
Hey.
And as you guys make your way to the warehouses, the Queen Bee lets go of your hand finally, Zephyr, and the Amazons pull open the garage door of the warehouse and head inside, and all of you hear this kind of squeaky, scraping wheeling as they drag out what you almost take to be a generator with how big and clunky looking it is, but as it comes into view of the streetlights, Neon, you would recognize at least the intended design of a bomb anywhere.
All right. So we definitely look like domestic terrorists.
I said you weren't getting it up there without us.
And you were very correct in that assumption.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, it occurred to me after our conversation earlier that you may not know how big it is, so I thought better safe than sorry. I don't want this getting back to me, and she gives a bit of a shrug. I want to make sure this goes off swimmingly. I have a lot of clients depending on this.
Purpose? Like, did you mean to make it that big?
She kind of looks to you and looks way up at you because, again, Zephyr height, and raises an eyebrow kind of up into her head scales. And, oh, how big do you think a weapon that can take down the entire city's power should be?
I mean, I could probably take it down with some magic, but, like...
Oh, well, then you won't need this, then.
I just was
please
not
shut your mouth.
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting it to be huge.
I'm at my limit.
Relax.
Shaking and crying.
Relax. I'm not planning to go back on the deal. Yes, the ones that can take down a single room are fairly small, but we're going to need something much bigger if we want to take down the entire tower. Don't worry, I have a plan on getting it there unseen, but I'm going to need you, and she points to you, Zephyr, to work with me a little bit.
What is it you need?
Oh, just follow my lead.
All right.
With that, she gestures to you, Neon, to approach the elevator. As you are one of the only people here who can open it, because remember the genetic coding.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, wait, wasn't his friend going to meet us over here at the elevator?
Yeah, but at the moment you do not see him. Do you want to wait, or?
Yeah, perhaps he meant at the top of it.
Well, we better hope so.
You know him better than we do.
I'll go ahead and go to the top. Worst case scenario, we'll just wait there for him.
Okay. If nobody has any objections to that. The Amazons help you all wheel the EMP into the elevator, and the Amazons kind of protectively stand around it, kind of shielding it from view as best they can, a few even sitting atop it and just doing their makeup. And the rest of you occupy the elevator nervously. And Zephyr, the queen bee, takes your hand again with a broad smile as she kind of pulls you lightly to be at the front of the group, directly in front of where the doors will open.
All right, then.
And as you all quietly lumber up the elevator way towards the upper city, the clean, pristine, and well-protected upper city, the elevator doors slide open, and all of you immediately balk as you see a patrol of peacekeepers kind of in conversation with each other already, basically getting into the elevator, ready to presumably head down to the lower city. And Voter is among them. Voter kind of takes a kind of offhanded glance at who's exiting the elevator and kind of visibly double takes. And the queen bee tugs on your arm, Zephyr, and kiss me.
What?
She grabs your head and brings you into a deep, like literally doing that, like lowering you down with one hand on your head and one on your leg, deep kiss. And Voter kind of gives a quiet nod and kind of elbows the other peacekeepers lightly. And you can see they kind of quickly scan over the group, but the moment their eyes settle on Zephyr and the queen bee, their gazes immediately avert. And the Caleb, closest to Zephyr, the queen bee, not breaking her lip lock with your brother at all, waved her hand for all of you to enter while she keeps this up.
Yes, quickly, because Zephyr's probably not a fan of this plan.
I like put a hand like between my eyes and them and just like walk past, like I don't see anything.
And Neon, you can see several peacekeepers doing the same.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the Amazons kind of smirking to each other. hoist the EMP, basically surrounding it and hoisting it so that its wheels don't scrape on the ground and the sound doesn't give you away. And it's a bit of a slow process because it's much heavier to move it this way, but they hoist it out of the elevator and turn the curve of the cylindrical pillar that the elevator operates inside of. And Zephyr, you can see the queen bee open up one eye to take a glance to see if the weapon is gone. And as the peacekeepers gather behind all of you, as all of you exit the elevator with the Amazons, the queen bee smiles to you, Zephyr, and runs a hand to smooth down her head scales. And there's plenty more where that came from after the wedding, darling, and kind of pulls you lightly to exit the elevator as the peacekeepers still averting their gaze. The elevator starts to close, and at the last second, Voter slips through the closing doors as it shuts behind him. The queen bee finally releases you, Zephyr, and kind of dusts off the front of her dress. And sorry about that. It's a favorite strategy of mine to avoid the peacekeeper's eye. Public displays of affection make people very uncomfortable.
Sure does.
It seems it worked.
He's got like the stars around his head.
Seeing you're kind of dazed a little bit, she winks at you and blows you a kiss. And if we survive tonight, maybe we can actually talk about making those plans a reality, huh?
Bruh, if she believes she's a thought, am I right, gamers?
And she approaches you, Zephyr, and kind of throws an arm over your shoulder to hug you lightly and whispers to you quietly, I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable.
I get it was part of a plan. Unexpected, but needed, I guess.
She gives you a smile and a much more chaste and shy kiss on the cheek before stepping away and looking over all of you. All right, my girls will get the EMP to the tower. We'll hide it in one of the surrounding parks. Voter, with his arms crossed, gives a nod, and I'll rejoin my patrol and circle back around and wait near it for a signal that things are going wrong. If you guys get caught, should I just assume the worst and set it off, or wait for you, and he looks to you, Neon, to tell me when to do it?
Voter's still in the elevator, or is still with the group, rather, yes?
Yeah, he basically slipped out of the elevator as it was closing, so his patrol went down without him.
Actually, wait for him. And, gesture at him.
All right. And he kind of pats you on the shoulder, Neon, and in case things don't go according to plan, it was a pleasure to work with you.
Yeah, Neon's ears kind of flatten just a hair and just like kind of lowers his head just a bit, just like, yeah, let's hope everything goes according to plan, hey?
Ever the optimist. All right.
Why not?
Relax, darling. Everything's going to be just fine. You guys are good at this. Well, far as I've heard, anyway. And she gives a bit of a wink and a smile.
Oh, God. If only she knew the fucking body count this group had.
I mean, to
be fair, she's at least vaguely aware of it.
She's seen our minds. I don't know how far, but...
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot she could do that.
If any of you see me at the party, feel free to serve me some drinks.
Well, we'll first need to get inside the party, unless, something goes wrong.
She gives you a low nod and good luck, all of you. Feel free to give me a whisper, a message, a yell of pain and agony if you need backup. I managed to smuggle a few things under this dress.
Ooh.
Fucking tactical nuke.
Well, we do have an EMP.
I don't have that much space, I'm afraid.
No, she keeps that in her purse.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Good luck, everyone. I'll see you at the party. And she blows you all a kiss before sauntering off down the road. Voter slinking off the same way the other Amazons had gone with the EMP, presumably to catch up with and follow them to the park. And with that, you guys are alone in Upper Edict. You can see the patrolling security droids, the nearly crystalline clean streets and buildings. Peacekeeper HQ looms in the distance, and much further away than any of you had paid much mind to initially, the Foxfire Network Tower, which is currently gleaming with lights. Some just from inside, others hung from them like Christmas decorations. What would you guys like to do?
Oh, and Gil also still has his flying boots on as well.
Okay. Are you going to attempt to conceal those in any way, or?
No, he's just
Okay.
wearing them. And if anyone asks, they're more comfortable for being on his feet for a long time.
All right.
You know,
Noted.
curving and everything.
Mm-hmm. All right. With that, does anyone have any objections to just heading straight to the tower, or does anyone have any pit stops?
Hey, Matthew.
I have none.
What's up?
Do the security droids look like this?
No.
Aw.
They're the same ones you guys fought in the in Sunspot, the one that has the Gatling gun, the cannon, and the shotgun.
Oh, the big
Drones.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big brown boys. It sounds like fun.
And with that, especially because these ones are fully functional, the one you guys fought was heavily damaged.
Yeah.
With that, you guys start making your way towards the distant gleaming tower. And this is actually some of the most time any of you Sans Neon have spent in Upper Edict. And while Neon, you're more familiar with Lower Edict, you've at least seen Upper Edict on your patrols. And for those of you who are less familiar with the location, the difference is practically night and day. The streets are perfectly clean and pristine. You see hardly anyone appears to be cybernetically enhanced. And you can see these gleaming... There are still the same gleaming neon signs and displays indicating performances and businesses, but they're a lot better maintained. Almost as if whenever something breaks, instead of fixing it, they just send it down to the lower city and then make a new one. Everything is so unnaturally well kept. Hardly even a speck of dust on the rocky crystalline buildings and cavern.
The cleanest, most germ-free place on planet Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it actually does have that, like, almost hospital-esque look to it, you know?
Honestly, it seems like it would be kind of unsettling to a degree.
No, it's very unsettling.
Except for Lucian, she was right at home.
What's the smell? I'm sorry. I'm gonna
It's not really like a smell per se. It's more just like basically Neon was observing correctly that because this whole place has that kind of hospital-esque ambience of being like unnaturally clean and well kept, the whole group is kind of unsettled because most of you guys only came up here briefly to go to Peacekeeper HQ, which is not that far from the elevator. Now you guys are going deeper into the upper city, and it's so off-putting, especially compared directly to Lower Edict, which may be dirty and gross, but it's, populated, it's inhabited, people are doing stuff.
Yeah, no surprise, though.
I'm right at home. I don't care what you say.
And I will also say you guys notice that, Neon, this is something you're familiar with, but because the cybernetics are no longer distracting you guys from the elves' individual appearances, you start to notice that the elves up here are kind of walking around with almost a dazed look to them. Their eyes are kind of fogged, and they kind of walk around somewhat awkwardly, almost as if they can't fully see where they're going. And again, overall, the best way I can describe it is the cleanest, most calm, brightly lit zombie apocalypse ever.
I take out my crossbow and I start shooting walkers in the head. I remember my true name, which is Daryl Dixon.
Yeah, Neon, don't be silly. Your crossbow's in Gil's bag of holding. You'll have to use your suppressor for that. You take out your suppressor and start shooting walkers.
It'll be a very slow process.
So
Gotta put the powder in, put the ball in.
Okay, so can I look at them and see why they look so dazed? Because this weapon is not normal.
I'll take a glance as well with my medical prowess.
Both of you make insight checks, or Lucian, if you want to try to be medical about it, a medicine check.
Thank you.
Whoops. Shut up. There's nothing important. Don't worry about it.
All right, Gil, your insight?
Ooh.
Natural fucking 20, so 27.
Okay. And Gil, your insight?
Natural 1.
Gil, you realize why they're distracted. It's because you're just so handsome that they can't take their eyes off of you. And even when they look away from you, they're just thinking about your ripped physique in that suit. So it's just...
I knew it.
It's hard being as handsome as you are.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just perfect that everyone to finally notice and realize it.
Finally noticed.
Yeah, maybe it turns out the secret was wearing a shirt.
You're wearing a shirt now.
Yeah. I guess it just really defines the abs,
And Gil, as you're admiring yourself, Lucian, you kind of tilt your head and squint a bit, and you notice that two elves start to look like they're about to almost run into each other because none of them are looking at each other, but you can see one give a very light and they both kind of just almost instinctively avoid each other, not saying a word to each other, just continuing on without running into each other. And you look up at the crystalline ceilings that, brightly lit or not, is still underground, and you realize the elves down here have gone blind. They've been underground for so long that their vision has just slowly faded.
So are they using echolocation?
Essentially, from the looks of it, it seems like the moment they realize that somebody's nearby, from the sounds of footsteps, they just give a light click of the tongue to alert the other person that they're there, so that and basically it seems to operate on traffic rules. Both people going in what for them is right, so that they'll swerve around each other and not ram into each other.
No, not echolocation.
Well, the good news is everybody's blind here. The bad news is everybody's blind here.
Not sure if I see the bad too much, but
Well, there could be complications, but it will at least help us get through. Could you lead us to the tower pretty easily from here, Neon?
One more time?
She was asking if you could lead them towards the tower.
Easily navigate us.
I assume it'd be pretty easy, yes?
Yeah, Neon, you literally just kind of glance at the gleaming, glowing tower in the distance.
It's right there.
No, I have no idea
Like,
where
it's
it is.
No idea where it is.
I don't need your stuff right now. That's unnecessary. That was a yes or no question, not this sass question.
I start moving towards the tower.
All right. As you guys approach, you see that, as of course the wedding itself has not fully started yet. It's mostly the kind of gathering ceremony of sorts. You see that in the park outside the towers, there's already a huge crowd beginning to gather. And among the crowd, you can already see some familiar faces. You see the mother toasting and sharing drinks with what appears to be an upper edict elf. You can see the queen bee is already dancing for the entertainment of several deeply engaged onlookers. You see a unfamiliar person to all of you but Neon. Neon, you recognize a young-looking light elf girl with somewhat tanned skin and very visible burn marks on her neck, and wearing what appears to be almost something made of chainmail, but it like flatters her as a dress would. And you recognize this as the leader of the Firebugs. All of Edict's criminal element are here, engaging with the aristocracy and rubbing elbows with the wealthy, who have what they could never have.
Are you getting bad signals?
Zephyr, you kind of nervously adjust your suit over your armor just to make sure that your hunch is hidden as much as possible. And Lucian, by this point, your disguise will still be starting to wear out if you don't refresh it.
Yeah, I'll just refresh it.
Okay. As you all enter the gated-off park, as you approach it, a somewhat large-looking light elf man and one of the security droids both hold up their hands, and the muscular-looking light elf man in what you recognize as a Peacekeeper uniform doesn't point the crossbow at you, but just kind of adjusts his grip on it. And you got an invitation, and you notice he's looking at you specifically, Gil.
No invitations. We're here as servants to help with food and drink.
He kind of smirks and looks down to your metallic shoes and the cape wrapped around your shoulders. And
In fact, you don't look like servant.
The boots are comfortable. Yeah, like you know how it is.
I'm gonna kind of squeeze on through since I look different than I normally do. I'll be like, all right there, Sonny. Sorry about him.
The security drone holds its gun arm in front of you, blocking your entry, and the Peacekeeper doesn't look angry, just kind of holds up a hand to kind of indicate for you to wait.
I'm not trying to enter, I'm just trying to, like,
Get in front, between them.
Come to the front.
The Peacekeeper looks you up and down. Gil, make me a deception check.
Guidance.
Cast guidance. How are you gonna cast guidance?
Yeah, does let me double check with the components because you may have to make a sleight of hand check to get away with that.
The problem is, and also guidance is a con. I think. No, never mind.
Yeah, Vovo. So yeah, make me a sleight of hand check to see if you can get away with casting it without him noticing.
I'm not that, but let's try. Ooh, I got a natural 19, so 23? Yeah, 23.
Yes. 23.
Okay. And Gil, what'd you get for deception?
Do I get to add the D4?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't. Basically, Lucian's going to cast the spell regardless. It's just she may get caught. So, but yes, you can add the D4 regardless.
Okay, well, before that, it's a 23. So adding a D4. Let's 4. We'll make it a 25.
Okay. Lucian, you smile and basically almost like having to tune into being a ventriloquist. Say the verbal components without moving your lips and gently nudge, almost brushing Gil's side with your fingers. And Gil, you speak your lie with confidence. The Peacekeeper kind of raises an eyebrow and looks you up and down again, specifically focusing more on the shoes than on the cape, and looks over the rest of you in your finely tailored suits. I'm guessing that those are prosthetics. You don't have to hide it. There's no shame in it, kid. Lose the cape. You're going to get mistaken for a guest dressed like that. I know it's not exactly warm down here, but look, you can just head back down to Lower Edict when the wedding's over, and you'll be nice and warm.
You can put it in my purse, darling.
Do I have? By the way, do people who are concealing things have to roll to conceal them?
You already rolled for that with your earlier sleight of hand checks. That I was rolling to see if he spotted any of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go ahead and put it in my bag of holding.
He kind of glances to the bag of holding, but otherwise does not pay a particular mind. He looks to the security droid, and we expecting another... He does a quick head count of all of you, and another 7 wait staff members. Mm-hmm. The security droid kind of tilts its head and pauses for a moment before turning back to the guard and giving a slow, mechanical, stilted nod.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Lucian's being counted as that.
All right. In that case, go ahead, head in. We need you guys in the kitchens right now, just making sure everything goes off without a hitch. He thinks for a moment before. No, I think that's about it. You're free to mingle if you like, but you know how the elves up here tend to get, so I wouldn't recommend it. Just try to stay out of trouble, and we can get through this without any issue. Commissioner's concerned we're going to be dealing with something tonight, so patrols have been stepped up a little bit, so just try not to make a scene.
All right, dear. Oh.
What was that, sir? Sorry.
I was just saying that I'm glad to know that the commissioner is definitely going to keep everyone safe.
Oh, of course.
You never know these days.
Yeah, tell me about it. But yeah, no, don't worry. We'll keep all of you safe. The boys in gold got your back. Take it easy, and try not to work too hard, huh?
Yeah, we're here to work, so we'll work as hard as needed.
That's the spirit. All right, let him on through, big guy. And the droid steps away and retracts their gun and allows all of you entry.
I'm surprised security is a lot lax than I thought it would be.
We take a single step in, there's a metal detector, it goes off, we're shot to death immediately.
Yeah, like some Judge Dredd shit up in here. Judge, jury, and executioner, peacekeepers. So I find it interesting that they don't question the fact that, like, Caleb doesn't get any questions about being...
Remember, elves have trouble distinguishing human ages.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, think of it this way.
Yeah,
Could you honestly tell the difference between, like, a 4-year-old dog and a 6-year-old dog?
And if I, took a second to look at him, I could probably notice something.
I mean,
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. It just takes us a little bit longer.
Plus,
And don't elves age exactly the same until they're adulthood?
No.
Well, actually, in this setting, yes. They basically age normally, and then once they reach their prime, it kind of mellows out. They will still gradually, do things like go gray, but they are immortal, so they won't die from it. That being
I
said,
often wondered, does that mean I have some 301 years old? Do I have any gray hairs yet?
for an elf, no. I always imagine that elves don't really start going gray until they're at least getting into their 700s or 800s.
Yeah,
Okay.
I always divide their age by 10 for an equivalent to human.
Mm-hmm. So that said,
so Gil. So would Gil be So I guess Gil would be considered middle-aged for an elf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Lucian is quite young for an elf.
Mm-hmm. That said, one by one, you guys cross the threshold. Neon, you find yourself almost instinctively waiting for the other shoe to drop, but nothing happens. You all enter into the garden, dressed in your fine tailored suits. And Gil, no longer in your cape, but allowed to keep your boots under the presumption that they are prosthetics. And as
also,
predicted, what's up?
I guess I didn't really mention it because I'm not concealing it. He has his parasol with him. His whisper.
Okay. Noted. Yeah, I'll say, given that it doesn't look like an obvious weapon, I'll say that passes. And in Edict, umbrella boys are actually a thing. So yeah, they would just assume you're an umbrella boy, so you're good. As you guys start making your way through the beautiful topiary garden of mushrooms and fungus from the Underdark, it casts the whole ceremony in this interesting turquoise-colored light, very much reminding you of the fungal farms of Ergos, and given their proximity, it may in fact be from there. And wouldn't that be a twist? But as you guys make your way through, a few people kind of glance at you briefly, but seeing that you're not carrying anything other than Zephyr's parasol of interest to them, as predicted, nobody pays you any mind. You're servants, and they are upper class. If you do not have something they want, they look right past you. Zephyr, you honestly wonder if you should have bothered smuggling your weapons, given that with the fact that nobody's taking more than a second look, you are getting the most attention, and that's only because people are basically wondering, do I need shade?
Like I was like, do I need shade? I'm gonna have to climb them to shade. I'm like, all right, let me get on your back.
All right, come on, you know the drill.
You all can see the mother, again, making conversation with elvish aristocracy, give you guys a look, and give you a deceptively friendly smile with her forked tongue snaking out from between her fangs, before the look turns far more serious, and she gives you a nod and strikes the conversation up again.
Yeah, when Gil sees us, he'll give her a slight imperceptible bow, just out of respect.
At this, she looks visibly surprised, but very subtly returns the gesture and smiles at you a lot more genuinely friendly. And you can see that as she talks to the elves again, she kind of slithers a bit to take their gaze away from you so that you're not even in their periphery as you make your way towards the tower building itself.
Mm-hmm.
From the looks of it, most of the guests, basically those who are not waitstaff or the bride and groom and the bridesmaids and such, are currently out here just enjoying socializing in the party. So, but again, you can see all of the crime bosses of Edict seem to be out here. Does anyone want to approach anyone or do anything, or just stick with the group and to get inside the building?
Just sticking with the group.
Are we having to head towards the kitchens?
That's what they told you to do, but you don't have to do that.
Does it seem like we should act like servants for a little bit and then put the plan in motion?
It does.
Yeah, because
Say.
he's going
Yeah,
to head towards the kitchens. He's going to he's going to see if he can get Caleb or Zephyr to go with him and alter some of the ingredients.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to put
spice it.
Star Blast and some of the stuff.
I already got what he was gonna do once he said alter. The party's high.
But he's gonna like, hey Zephyr, you think you can help me with that?
It depends on how you plan on doing it.
Well, we gotta go to. Well, we're supposed to go to the kitchens. It'll be pretty easy to tip the flask into some of the foods.
And some of the foods multiple times. What foods, basically, you know?
What end?
Just one. It doesn't really matter which ones. Just a little bit here, a little bit there. It'll help keep the people busy. Besides, they're a little too uptight for my taste right now.
This is nothing.
I mean,
what would be the point of doing that? They already don't pay attention to us.
Well, it would cause for more distraction, but the same point of problem is it would cause a commotion. The problem is it may cause a commotion, which will put the guards on more higher alert.
Good point. He'll keep the flask in his bag of holding then.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go and get a tray of drinks or something to pass.
Shouldn't we go out? Like, are we gonna actually? I wasn't planning on actually being a servant.
Well, we gotta play the part a little bit.
They are expecting us in the kitchen, so it could be that if we just go straight in, they might notice our absence a lot sooner. Maybe if we play the part for just a little bit, it'll...
I don't think you're understanding me, Caleb. I don't know anything about it, like how, like, to make anything that is not like.
I don't think you're making anything.
Asked to make anything. I think we just have to give it to people. I think you are capable of grabbing glass, lifting glass, and handing glass.
Yeah, don't be too much of a princess.
She narrows her eyes, which is very odd because it looks a little bit more scolding on his face.
Have you never had a servant?
Of course, I'm dressed as her.
Well, what did they do?
She did everything. She cooked, she cleaned, she tutored us, she told us bedtime stories.
Kind of servant.
She would always make us clean our rooms.
It sounds more of a nanny, but not really much of a servant.
Caro, Neon, what are the two of you doing?
I'm going to head for the kitchen.
As well, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'll just follow what everybody else is doing.
Okay.
Look, it's real simple. I know a bit about it because I watched The Servants where I got brought to, and also I kind of didn't like using them, so I often learned how to do things from them, so they wouldn't have to do it for me.
I see that. I can see that as being useful because before I started traveling with you guys, I didn't really do anything for myself except for, read my books and do my studies.
Yeah, so basically, you had no.
Think of it as a learning experience.
As you guys approach the tower doors, they automatically...
Wait, didn't we go to the kitchen?
Oh yeah, we got to get in the tower to get to the kitchen first.
Oh, okay.
As it slides open, you cautiously enter, and the inside of Foxfire Towers is incredibly pleasantly air-conditioned and cool, and everything is bathed in the signature yellows and blues of Edict itself. And as you look around, you can see already the place is made to be as comfortable as possible. It, to their credit, does seem like a relatively down-to-earth and casual wedding. You see no sign of the bride and groom, although that does not particularly surprise you. What you do see are waitstaff going to and fro, keeping the furniture clean and organized, cleaning up the area, setting up decorations, things of that nature. And it takes you all a little bit of combined guesswork and intuition, but following the trail of a servant who comes across the room with a tray of drinks, you retrace his route backwards, heading not upstairs. The sort of lobby area you're in that's been repurposed to be the ceremony area, which just has a bunch of couches and chairs scattered for the guests to sit in. There are a pair of stairs going up, presumably to get to the higher floors. You can already see Peacekeepers patrolling, and you make your way in between the two stairs directly across the lobby, which kind of divots in the center where all the furniture is. And you see that there's a small servant's entrance, and Gil kind of cautiously opening the door. You do see that this does indeed appear to be the kitchen. You can see staff members like yourself and chefs mostly actually preparing the meals and then passing them off to wait staff who basically just elbow their way past all of you, not even seeming intent to be rude. They're just in a hurry. It seems more like they have a routine they've practiced and you guys don't know it. But thankfully, they don't appear to pay it much mind with the hustle and bustle. And Neon, you've actually gulp a little bit as you see, as you all enter the kitchen, there is a peacekeeper positioned right on the other side of the door, just watching over the kitchens idly, presumably to stop people from doing exactly what Gil was proposing doing 2 minutes ago.
Do I see who's in charge?
You're not exactly an expert, but you do see what appears to be a light elf man who seems to be just giving orders and not doing anything himself. So you imagine that's likely the head chef.
All right.
Yeah. So, I was going to say, Gil would like to go up to him. Like, we're new. What would you like us to do?
Yep. Caleb, what are you doing?
Could I have Caleb? Because he mentioned that he was a bit closer with the service, with the servants and with the Tavadrians. Is going to have him try to remember how things work there to see if it can be applied here.
Make me a performance check.
Performance check. Interesting. I was expecting a
history.
Yeah.
Well, performance to see, just because you can remember it doesn't mean you can replicate it, especially convincingly.
Could be a 16.
All right. Gil, as you start to kind of like work your way through the hustle and bustle to approach the head chef, you watch as Caleb immediately just like kind of takes a moment to collect himself and recall things, and then immediately, without even speaking, just holds out a hand, and Caleb, a tray of drinks is deposited into your hand, and you're just kind of gently sent on your way to start serving drinks to those outside.
Get the example.
Well, in that case, he will follow suit.
All right.
Instead of ask.
While you're doing that, what are the rest of you going to do?
I'm going to put on my mask as we're getting it back into the, heist form,
Yeah, you guys are in casing mode right now.
the game mode, I don't really know much. I guess I don't think what quids ever do.
I mean, you can just follow Caleb's example. I was just checking if there's anything specific anyone wanted to do different.
I know. Well, the problem is, I'm just like, man, I'm gonna have to like kneel down or I'm gonna serve all the small people.
Or you could just carry it over your head.
There is another thing Gil would like to do.
All right, we'll get back to you. I just want to get through everyone else first.
Of course.
What's the other people doing? What are everyone else doing?
Caro, Neon?
I'm going with.
So, an important question. Does Caro have gloves on?
Yes, all of your uniforms came with gloves.
Okay.
I'm not wearing gloves.
No, you said you were wearing your gloves, just not the ones that they came with, which I am keeping track of. You rolled very good sleight of hand, remember, so.
Oh, well, my basically, he has his hands. You can see his hands. My gloves are invisible.
Yeah, so, yeah, you're fine. At least for now. But yeah, so go ahead, Caro, sorry.
Yeah, so are there platters out I can grab?
Yes, and whenever you kind of start raking your eyes over the surrounding kitchen, people immediately start picking up platters and holding them out for you to quickly take.
Okay, she'll grab one and like hold it over her head because she's also short.
Mm-hmm. All right. Caro, without a second thought, you take a platter of what appears to be small little cupcakes and start taking them over your head to follow Caleb back out into the garden. Gil, I know you said you had something else to do, but I will say since you wanted to do that, you go ahead and grab a platter from someone nearby as well. And also, Zephyr, just to quickly finish up on your thing. But yeah, so yeah, since A, your gloves are invisible, and B, you rolled good sleight of hand, we can just easily say that, like, they would basically just think, oh, you don't have your gloves on, that's weird, but not a crime.
Like you're preparing food.
Yeah, you're just serving it, so. That being said, Neon, you said you're going with Caleb as well?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna have like three people just holding platters above their heads.
Yeah. Lucian, what are you doing? You see most of your party watching Caleb's convincing performance just replicate it as best they can and seem to do a good enough job. Again, it seems with the hustle, between the hustle and bustle in here and the ignorance of the people outside, nobody's giving you guys more than a second glance as long as you don't do anything to stick out.
She's just kind of standing there awkwardly, not really knowing if she is even able to pull off this kind of performance. But she kind of nervously looks at a platter and just like kind of stares at it for like a full minute.
As you're doing this, Gil, one of the people that you kind of elbowed your way past, kind of snaps their fingers in front of Lucian's face and just like, come on, we gotta keep moving.
No, there's a platter into their hands.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, can I take the platter and like carry it with both of my hands?
Yeah, of course.
In front of me?
Yeah.
Like I'm afraid I'm gonna drop it.
Yeah. The elf who had gotten your attention kind of, not rudely, seeming more just in a hurry, shoves their way past you and out into the lobby as you nervously take a drink tray and start kind of cautiously.
These are alcoholic drinks, I assume, right?
You're not 100% sure, but most likely.
I just like mumble prayer like, oh, Shiva, help.
And Gil, as your party members one by one start to trickle back out into the lobby, what are you doing?
So after he gets one of the trays, as he's walking back out, he is taking a mental note of how many peacekeepers he sees, roughly where they're at, and just for a mental note for later, if and when they have to fight. So he has an idea of how many there are.
Yeah, Lucian's not gonna do any of that. She's just gonna like focus on her tray and try not to spill everything.
All right, Gil, make me a perception check as you take your platter back out into the lobby.
I want Caleb to do similarly.
Okay, make me a perception check.
Okay, hang on. I gotta do a bit of math because I don't know this number.
You don't know this number?
Calculator.
That is a 23 on perception.
Okay.
15.
Okay. Caleb, you do a quick head count, just surveying the area, something you're very familiar with due to your training. A peacekeeper in the kitchen. However, if you keep things quiet, he likely won't be bothered with anything going on outside the kitchen unless they hear something suspicious. What more immediately concerns you is that there are 2 peacekeepers guarding the entrance to the tower, which you guys have already passed, and a peacekeeper on each door upstairs. And that is the only obvious way up that you can see. I will say, Gil, though, you notice the same thing, that in total, you can immediately see 5 peacekeepers just immediately within your vicinity. 1 in the kitchen, 2 in the lobby, and 2 outside. However, you notice something that Caleb actually misses. Although, again, Caleb, putting on a good demonstrable performance of serving, still served a vital role. You notice that there is a dumbwaiter in the kitchens.
What?
So
A dumbwaiter.
Those little elevators that you used to put to like slide things
food.
upstairs.
Yeah, typically send food.
Gil, you're the last one out, and with the new information in mind, you guys start filtering out into the gardens. While people will occasionally snap their fingers for you to approach them, for the most part, I will say you guys can approach anyone you just kind of want to. Immediately visible for in terms of people you recognize, you can see the Mother, Queen Bee, the leader of the Reapers. You see Officer Voter appears to have regrouped, looking a little nervous, but patrolling convincingly. And you see the Commissioner.
We'll make sure
As
to
much
stay
as
out of
Gil
his
would
sight.
like to go after the Commissioner, he is going to make sure he steers clear of him. Because
Okay.
so he doesn't get too good of a look at him.
Okay. Yeah, so those are all...
Performance role. Caleb is going to try to put on his best servant act as he's serving drinks.
Okay. But yeah, so does anyone want to approach anyone in particular, or just answer whoever calls you? And I'll say, Neon, you recognize pretty much every crime boss here. Leader of the Firebugs, leader of the Knights.
Just see
but
who calls him over. He's mostly just biding time right now.
okay.
Yeah, same for Gil. He's just going to go to whoever calls him.
Letting
He
things
is
progress.
Getting ready mentally.
Okay. Anyone have someone specific they want to try and approach?
Oh,
I will mention you can see the brokers as well on the list of ones you all recognize.
Brokers are no go.
I'll go to the brokers.
Okay. Lucian wants to approach the brokers. Does anyone else have someone in mind, or just go with the flow?
Go with the flow.
Going
for
with
me.
the flow for now.
Kato?
Till the moment seems right.
Yeah, I'll also go with the flow.
Okay.
Let the alcohol flow
Yeah.
through their veins for a little bit and then make our move.
I don't know. That's not. They're not the problem. But yeah, he'll do the same. But just he has a plan formulating.
Okay. In that case, we'll resolve the one person who has someone specific, do a little bit of flavor, and then circle back.
So Caleb was going to occasionally check in on the others to see if they had anything in mind, basically.
Okay.
So basically he'll try to keep some privy to any plans they may have.
All right. Noted. You all disperse, having to separate for now. And even though the garden is, it's sizable, but it's not like huge. But it still creates this uneasy feeling whenever you all lose sight of each other. As most of you guys have gotten used to basically always been in each other's vicinity, never more than like a room apart, and losing track of each other so easily in this crowd where one person's mistake can give all of you away is very nerve-wracking. But
I mean, if one person makes a mistake, then he's dead. It was just tough luck for him.
But you all swerve and sway among the party, serving drinks and food and small little edibles everywhere you go. Their aristocracy, as promised, does not look twice at you. Gil, at one point, the commissioner accepts a drink and a bit of food from you and continues his conversation without even looking at you. Although you do notice he does give you a quick thank you and a nod of the head as he takes the stuff from you. Lucian, whenever you are not otherwise occupied with other matters, you hear a snapping of fingers. Busboy, more wine, please. And see the eldest of the brokers beckoning you.
Very funny. I'll just kind of shuffle over there with my drinks, trying not to spill.
The eldest broker brother gives you a nod, dressed in a very fine purplish green suit, and takes one of the wine glasses from you, and his brothers do the same, and they look to each other and talk, not looking at you, but speaking to you. Going well so far? All according to plan?
I have no idea what's going on, to be honest.
Oh my goodness, is she trying not to be sick?
Yes.
Serving people.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Having performance anxiety.
There's no pressure at all. Try not to think about the fact that the entire city's population relies on you getting this right, including me and my brothers here. Also, try not to think about the fact that you've never done this before a day in your life. Also, try not to let this go to your head as, how you may have taken some things for granted in your life. And you can see the eldest kind of elbow his brother a little bit, and enough.
Lucian's just awkward shuffling, yeah, not thinking like that at all. No. She looks like she's about to throw up.
If you're going to vomit, don't be sick on my suit. Is there anything we can help you with?
She kind of looks around. Do I notice the peacekeepers guarding the entrance where we need to go through?
Yeah, I'll say yeah. You see those two since they've already been observed.
Looks like we need another way in.
Only way that's going to happen is if you can get the peacekeepers away from their station, and the only way that's going to happen is if somebody is placed under arrest.
She kind of closes her eyes. I'm going to regret this, aren't I?
Most likely. Try not to do anything rash.
I'm gonna try to see if anybody else needs my service. I'm gonna try to find somebody in the party to tell them the idea that has just struck me.
Alright, well, Caleb mentioned that he's actively checking in on every party member to see if anyone has plans formulating, so...
I was kind of thinking, saying, maybe this is the moment Caleb comes to check in and he hears him talking about the privilege, and he's like, I think I'm putting on a great performance. I've always been very observant.
Yeah.
Lucian, the face that Lucian is using is almost green in the face. She does not look good. I do have a thought, Caleb.
Go on.
Well, I'm definitely going to regret it, but I can get arrested, and that will get you guys up there.
Are you really Gil in disguise?
I kind of give a very, very weak smile.
Caleb looks at the brokers and be like, shouldn't y'all know about this if that's the case?
Know that it's secretly Mr. Gyoga in disguise?
I knew it.
I can guarantee you that I am not Gil. And if I were, there would be lots of trouble. But
so why are you saying you're going to draw attention to yourself by getting arrested?
Because if I get attention to myself, that gets attention from everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the only one. I'm the only one that doesn't look like myself.
I'll see what the others think. I'm going to be checking up on them from time to time.
Okay, I'm gonna go try not to throw up.
Okay, you have fun. And he's gonna walk by the brokers like, here, have some more dirt.
I shuffle.
Like I have a reason to have come over here.
Again, they do not look at either of you directly, but Ledger Broker takes your offering and just gives you a very slight nod in passing before making it look like he's just in continuous conversation with his siblings. As the two of you part in opposite directions to avoid looking suspicious and walk away.
Alright, now Caleb will try to start finding the others to fill them in on Lucian's idea.
Alright, so I will say you find Zephyr currently acting as umbrella boy to the mother, although in reality it's more just holding an umbrella over a part of their coiled tail. And the rich aristocracy just kind of occasionally chuckle at Zephyr's struggle to act as mother's umbrella boy. But regardless, the mother is keeping them occupied in conversation. And as you approach Caleb, she again subtly shifts her stance so that their gazes are kept on her and taken away from you and Zephyr as you approach your brother.
I guess Caleb will fill Zephyr in on Lucian's plan and her reasoning.
And the elves come up with the dumbest ideas.
Maybe, but we do need some way to get those guards out of the way. I mean, I could probably, quietly kill them very easily, but you're not much. You're more of a thief than an assassin.
So you can kill. So you're saying you could kill them right now?
I could kill one of them
in front of all these people.
Do you not know what I was trained to do?
Kill people quickly, I assume, but
quietly.
So quietly and visibly different, though. But either way, your skills aside, as you mentioned, there's two of them, so.
That's what I'm saying. Even if I could get rid of one, there's the other one.
But,
And you're more of a thief than an assassin. So I don't think you could take out the other one.
Well,
but do you have any other plans?
I might have something, though. Guess it's similar to Lucian's, just, not so much. Let's see, how far away do they have to be for this to work?
What's your plan?
Simply...
Oh, so if you couldn't tell, I'm whispering.
Yeah, stage whisper. No worries.
Simply a distraction. No one needs to get arrested. You do that. Just need to draw their attention away from the door.
So what are you going to do? I might be able to pass it along to the others so that everybody's on the same page.
How about you just tell the others to, once they get the signal, which they'll know what the signal would be, at least I hope that they're smart enough to understand what a decent signal is. Basically, once commotion starts, try to all get to the door. I don't know how long I can hold, how long I'll be able to distract them.
Okay, I'll let the others know.
Alright then.
Caleb, I guess we'll go and let the others know Zephyr's plan. Like a game of telephone.
Yeah, well, the problem is telephone is you change the information.
Okay, so the plan is that Zephyr causes the ruckus?
Yeah. Basically, Zephyr's going to cause a distraction of some
Okay,
kind.
that would be helpful because Jeremy did remind me that Lucian does need to be available to enhance ability for Neon.
Well,
so he gets advantage.
I was also thinking, man, Zephyr can probably get in there by himself if he really wished, but getting y'all in there is, problem. As long as they don't get arrested, even then, depending on where I go.
I think Gil could probably take a few guards out.
Try to do this stealthily, not kill everyone.
Stealth kill.
He could be stealthy. He's
Caleb is
military.
master of stealth kill.
Alright.
Yeah.
Kato, you are approached next, serving a tray of small finger foods to a chuckling array of wealthy elves.
Caleb approaches again to try and keep it looking like he's doing something. Given earlier he had a plate of food, but I guess he could have gone and gotten a plate of drinks.
Well, that and also, like everyone, like basically, all of you are carrying generally slightly different stuff. So anyone who wasn't feeling up for what Caro was offering can take some of yours. And again, nobody's really paying you that much attention who doesn't already know you. So, Caleb approaches you, and a few of the elves take some of the food on his tray as Caleb starts to whisper to you in a low tone.
So Zephyr has a plan to distract the guards. He just says to keep an eye out for the signal. I'm sure it'll be a pretty obvious one.
Caro nods, and looks to the elves. Do you need anything else?
They don't even look to you or say anything. One of them just kind of waves you off, like not even looking.
Caleb just quietly says as he starts to walk away, that should be all for now.
Alright. And as this game of telephone continues, I will say, does anyone have anything to add beyond, understood, to Caleb's message?
Well, Gil will also mention the dump waiter that he saw in the kitchen.
Alright. So Gil passes to you, Caleb, when you approach him after Kero, that he also saw a dumbwaiter that if this plan either fails or just needs to be changed, there is a dumbwaiter that can at least get you guys up to the next floor past the guards. Although, granted, you would need to clear the kitchen out to smuggle yourselves up there.
Yeah, that's going to be a tight fit.
Yeah, that'd be pretty hard.
Neon, anything from you?
Nothing from me.
All right. In that case, with a couple rounds of this little game you're playing, Caleb. At this point, you guys have been serving for about 20 minutes and getting close to a half hour now, as your trays are starting to run low, some of them outright empty. Zephyr, what would you like to do?
I guess if Zephyr's gonna do it, now would be the time.
Yeah, okay. So, for starters, are there any guests near the door?
Not particularly. It's mostly the wait staff going in and out of there, and you notice the occasional bridesmaid or best men circulating, but that's about it.
I'm assuming the dumbwaiter information wasn't passed on, so...
Well, actually, we can assume that Caleb, again, circled around to make sure everybody is kept up to speed.
Yeah, that's what Caleb's been doing for the party. He's trying to make us work as a team.
Yeah, so basically everyone should be on the same page unless Caleb deliberately excluded anyone. 5 guards, a dumbwaiter in the kitchen that could act as a backup entrance if you can clear the kitchens, and Zephyr has a plan to distract the guards and get himself inside, and you guys will know what's going on when you see it. But if that fails, Lucien will deliberately get arrested to draw the attention of the Peacekeepers, since, again, Lucien's identity won't be revealed, and then you guys can get up while the Peacekeepers are occupied.
Oh, Zephyr?
Yep. Well, for starters, I will go into the kitchen and make sure to have drinks in my hand.
All right. You come back in with an empty tray, and as soon as you set it down, another is immediately pushed into your hand, although you carefully maneuver to ensure that you get one of drinks specifically, as the first one that's offered to you was actually food. And from the sound, do you circle your way back out to the garden?
Yes, he'll go back outside and let's see, I don't have any good stuff. I don't have any of that good stuff. I just have my rings. Okay. Making sure I don't have anything I could do otherwise, being a fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot.
Pretty much. So Zephyr will... I think how I can get this, because I was hoping there'd be... Zephyr will approach the guards, and it seems like he's offering up a drink.
One of the guards kind of tilts their head at you curiously, but then waves their hand. Can't drink on the job, sorry. Go serve the guests.
Alrighty then. Okay. So I'm gonna basically be give a nod of understanding, and I would like to, about 10 feet from them, I would like to try to trip.
Okay.
I'm going to essentially, try to trip myself and
douse them in drinks?
No, but I'm away from them.
Who are you trying to douse, if anyone?
No. I mean, there's no one close to them.
Okay, so you're 10 feet away from them, you trip.
Yeah, 10 feet away, I'm gonna trip and then almost toss my, almost maybe 5 feet, just almost my tray gets further away, just gets lunged, and Zephyr will start almost he starts grabbing his leg, and he'll be he will act like he's in agony.
Make a performance check.
Yeah.
This is not what I expected.
Okay, not bad. 17.
Okay. Okay. You all hear the shattering of glass near the doorway and look to see all attention has been drawn to Zephyr as he's dropped his tray, which slides 5 feet out away from him. And in a fairly convincing display, Zephyr, thinking quickly, you basically like smudge a handful of dirt and fungus from the ground and rub it on your legs in an actually decent enough improvised simulation of a wound, and start just screaming and wailing. And the Peacekeepers immediately just like, oh, fuck, and step away from the door. And you can see one raise a pair of fingers to their ear and say something into their earpiece, which, Zephyr, you being close enough can hear what they're saying as they approach you. We need a new set of rotation on the front door. You all right?
I guess that's the moment.
Yeah, the two guards have approached Zephyr and are crouched down in front of him, and Zephyr, you hear that they've called for a new rotation to take their positions.
Yes.
But all of you see the scene Zephyr's making, and were informed to keep an eye out for a signal that you would definitely know when you saw.
Coming back that way because
I will
trains
make.
are running out.
I will make sure to like keep an eye on for the team as well. Just.
All right. The Peacekeepers, to their credit, actually do seem very concerned and start looking over your quote-unquote wound and like making sure you're okay. And you watch as Caleb, Neon, Gil, Cato, Lucian. Basically, are the three of you doing any different?
Nope.
All right.
Gil?
Just gonna try to get in there as soon as we can.
Yeah. Do we have to make rolls?
Let me make sure everyone's doing it before I... Gil, are you?
Going inside and going to start judging the rest of the guards up towards the top of the second floor.
All right. Caro, you in as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. As I get close enough, I would like to use a feature, my little race feature. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to use. Grovel, cower, and beg. As your action, you can cower pathetically to distract nearby foes. Until the end of your next turn, your allies gain advantage on attack rolls. But more or less, I'm just trying to like distract them, keep their focus on me.
I guess like kobolds make a very annoying sound when they're...
You know what? You know what? I'll tell you what. Roll me performance again. I'm going to count this as you having advantage, because that's a good use of a little use race feat.
Performance.
Just like the loud.
Oh my god! Zephyr's literally doing the I am just a little kobold!
I am just a little kobold. I don't know why I guard these dungeons.
I do not know why I serve the drink!
Who's doing get help?
Wait, is that actually the line? I'm just a little kobold.
Yep, there it is. There's Zephyr right now. But yeah, so Zephyr, what'd you get with your advantage to performance?
Well, my first was, as 17. My second was a 7.
All right. But your performance is still Lucian, even though you can't stand Zephyr at the best of times, even you feel a chord of pity strike in your heart, even though you know the wound is likely fake. But between how convincing his screams are, and bear in mind, you've never heard Zephyr raise his voice. Ever. He has always been very mellow-toned and focused. To hear Zephyr scream and cry and wail and looking like he's bleeding.
He's okay.
Can Caleb remember a time of Zephyr being like this, even remotely like this?
Zephyr?
I feel like
as a performance.
I want to say no, because whenever you got to the family, he probably did it whenever he was younger, but by the time you got to it, he's kind of like he stopped doing it. In fact, he preferred not to do it. He just felt no other way.
And with Zephyr's gripping performance, you guys slide your way, again, empty trays, making for a good enough cover story that between that and distraction, I'm not even going to ask you to roll. And Gil, you note with a smirk that as soon as you get into the air-conditioned towers, the guards and the upstairs doorway are already coming down.
We're like, what the fuck is going on down there?
Yeah, and as Zephyr knows, they called for people to take over their shift, and these guys were the closest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Gil will wait for them to pass by before he quietly makes his way up the stairs.
All right. Everyone who's heading upstairs, make me stealth checks.
Mm-hmm.
And again, since Zephyr is doing a good job of distracting everyone, I will give you guys advantage.
Ooh.
We have advantage, so what do I get?
It'll just lower the DC.
Like, what do you get? Like, nothing.
Right, I got a 14 and then an 18.
I got a 4 and then a 4 plus 9 would be 13, and then I got a natural 20.
Okay. Gil, Lucian?
My first one was a 16 and my second one was a 9.
Okay. Gil?
21 for my highest and 19 for the other one.
Ghetto?
Lucian is not made for sneaking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, sorry.
Stealth with advantage.
No, what did they roll?
Oh, Lucian got with advantage of 19, Gil with advantage of 21.
Actually,
Yeah,
16.
I mean, that's a good roll.
Yeah. All right, and what was yours again, Caro? Sorry.
30-20.
Okay.
The pass
was
needs
a
to be like
natural
15.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, all of you start making your way cautiously up the stairs. Caleb and Neon, you bring up the rear, and you actually notice a few of the servants, because the guards are already heading outside, a few of the servants do give you curious looks, but then whenever the Peacekeepers get to the sliding door and it opens and Zephyr's wails start echoing into the lobby, the servants immediately have their attention drawn to that and lose focus on you. Zephyr's cover has kept not only the guards, but even the servants from looking at you. As you all make your way up to the doorway. At the going upstairs, you're essentially on a balcony that hovers over the kitchen, and there is a thick metal door, one to the left, one to the right. Both, Neon, you can see at a glance, have what appear to be keycard locks.
Doesn't Neon have a tool to let him get
Got
through
your
that?
time to shine.
I don't believe I brought my hacking tools with me.
What?
Well,
Are you meaning to tell me? Are you meaning to tell me you came all this way and you fucking forgot your fucking robo arm?
Robo arm.
You would have put it in Gil's bag, actually.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that is true. So Gil just saved the day there. I was going to be in fucking hysterics if you guys... We spent like 6 sessions building this up, and Neon forgot the tool that he needs to do it.
Oh my god.
I could tell you.
I'm just going to give Gil a big fat kiss on the cheek.
Oh, that's nice. Gil, as Lucian kisses you on the cheek in relief, you hand Neon their hacking tool. And what were you saying, Caleb, real quick?
I was saying I could hear that you were about to laugh.
No, I literally, my jaw dropped whenever Neon fucking said that.
Didn't even think about
Even
that.
you didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Usually you're like on top of that stuff, but even you...
Well, because bear in mind, it's not my problem if you guys can't pull off the thing. So I wasn't, like, worried about it.
No, I mean, like, usually, like, you'd be the one to point out, Neon, did you bring your hacking tool? But even you were shocked that he forgot it.
Yeah, so that being said, Gil reunites you with your severed robot arm severing his hacking tools, Neon. Which door would you like to attempt to hack, if any?
Do you want me to cast the enhanced ability now, or Like, it would last a long time if I do it now. It's up to you.
Might as well be now.
Okay, I will go ahead and I'll get out my little focus. And I will do enhance ability at 2nd level. And then I will do Fox's Cunning.
Why don't you just do it at first level?
Because it's a 2nd level spell.
It's a first. Oh no, second. That doesn't know. I thought for a minute it was a 3rd level spell. Then.
No, it's a 2nd level.
Or a first.
Okay. Casting.
I'll give him Fox's Cunning.
All right, Neon, you now have advantage on intelligence checks. Make your hacking tools check with advantage to try and get through this keycard door. Oh, and also, which one are you trying to hack?
I guess so.
There's a left one and a right one.
Yeah, they were both just metal doors.
Yeah, there's not any immediate obvious sign of where they go.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Can Gil listen at the doors to see which one might be the right one?
Make a perception check.
Guidance.
All right, make a perception check, add a d4. Wait, actually, hold that thought.
Wait.
Let me see.
I think enhance ability is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think enhance ability is concentration.
Yeah, because we had a whole conversation about that.
Yeah, so still feel free to roll perception though, Gil.
Yeah.
19.
Gil, you don't hear anything at the leftmost door, just nothing at all. At the rightmost door, you can hear what sounds like distant and muffled conversation between a crowd.
Okay, left door, definitely left door.
Yeah, so he'll pass that on.
Good, that was the one I was going to pick. So,
all right.
Yeah, left door.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, Neon, as you start getting the arm ready to start hacking into the key card slot, Gil does confirm that there's people on the other side of the rightmost door. So left, where it's silent, seems to be your best bet.
Got a 21 and then a 2, by the way.
All right, Neon, you almost slip, but the extra focus that Lucian's providing you sees you through it, and you all watch anxiously as you can hear Zephyr still wailing and caterwauling outside. As Neon, the thing flashes green, and the doors slide open to reveal what looks like the interior of an elevator.
I think the thing's at the top, right?
Well, technically the thing occupies the entire building, but I will say, Neon, peeking your head in, you do see that the floors are not numbered. They are instead labeled in Undercommon, which I believe you can read, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, does everyone enter the elevator?
Sure.
Yeah.
Ghetto?
Undercon?
Do you enter the elevator?
Oh, yes, but I also don't know if I can read.
I think Caleb.
I want to see with my big ol' eyes.
Yeah, so, but you can't read Undercommon?
Unfortunately not.
Alright. You can see the floor numbers are written in neon. You can feel Carol kind of leaning over your shoulder, curiously looking at the foreign text. Lucian, do you enter?
Yep. I just follow the lead.
Alright. Neon, looking over the floors. This is a tall tower. There's a lot of floors, but you know what you're looking for. You can see various things. Archives, storage, kitchens, offices, various floors that do not seem immediately helpful until you see, indeed, at the top, network room.
Network room. Going to the network room, baby.
Okay. As you tap the button at the very top of the list. Zephyr, what are you doing?
Well, besides screaming in agony, Zephyr will try to, he's gonna just, try to see, you can see as he, pushes up with his arms, you can see him, wobbling his arms, and as he kind of fully gets up and he puts pressure on the leg that he
quote unquote wounded.
Yeah, and like you can see him just like, and you can see him just like trying his hardest to like walk as he makes like 1 foot just every inch, just like. Just goes
the peacekeepers kind of lean down to help support you as you go, and just like, sir, you're not going to be able to walk on that. Let's get you bandaged up into a hospital.
I mean, are you sure?
Yeah, no. Between you and me, this isn't worth it. Let's get you somewhere safe. Here, let's bandage that up for you first. And they break out a small med kit and start preparing to assist you as best they can. Do you let them do so?
Sure. I mean...
All right. And Zephyr, you kind of peek a little bit, and you can just make out your allies going into the left side doorway, and then it shuts behind them. We'll come back to you. Neon, the ride up is mostly quiet, but it's going to be a little bit. So does anyone have anything they'd like to do while on the way up to the network room?
Gil is going to ask everyone if they want their equipment back, so we will be ready when we get to the top.
Yeah, I'll go ahead
to
and
put
drop my
armor and
disguise.
shit on.
You're not sure exactly how long it's going to take the elevator to get up there, but armor does generally take a little bit to put on. Let me actually see.
There's only got 1 minute, depending on like the armor class.
Yeah, it depends on the armor. You wear light armor, yes, Caleb? Yeah. It'll take you a minute to put yours on. You should have time. Medium armor will take 5 minutes, and heavy armor will take 10.
Right. So it's going to take total. It'll take him in total 2 minutes to get the ghost armor and studded leather back on.
Okay.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
1 minute for each.
Yeah. So, Caleb, you retrieve your ghost cloak and your studded leather.
Ghost cloak.
Well, I just ghost cloak because it looks like a cloak, but it is the ghost armor. Kato, do you grab anything from your inventory that Gil offers? Again, it'll take you a minute to get in and out of light armor, 5 to get out of medium, and 10 to get into, and 10 to get into heavy.
What would my armor be considered?
The diving suit?
Yeah.
That is considered. Let me check. The diving suit is considered heavy.
Oh, heavy.
The fuck?
It's meant to keep you underwater.
I thought it was like a wetsuit.
No, the art designs it as a wetsuit, but it's like one of those old timey like BioShock style diving suits.
Oh man. So Kara didn't wear that earlier. Like it's all like all those disadvantages.
Does Kara even have the things for heavy armor?
No, but bear in mind that magic armor, unless specified, it doesn't usually matter.
Yeah, because like they're a ranger, right?
Yeah,
yes, they're a ranger.
Like I'm looking at like a Vaven sheet, and he only has proficiency with light and medium armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, yeah. Generally, when it comes to magic items, at least from the ones I've seen, as long as you can attune to it at all and use it, you are considered to be proficient with it while using it.
Well, if you have attunement. Anyway.
So yeah, that being said, Caro, do you grab anything from your inventory or?
I believe I have leather armor as well, so.
You want to grab that and put that on instead?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to grab?
And,
Go Because basically anything you don't grab now, if a fight breaks out, you're not going to get another chance.
And I guess my crossbow.
Okay. The bolts as well, I assume?
Yeah.
All right.
Just bring an empty crossbow.
All right, you retrieve your leather armor, acknowledging that you sadly do not have time to put on your diving suit, and grab your crossbow, its bolts, and your leather armor that you have not worn in quite some time, and start donning it along with Caleb donning his. Gil, anything from your inventory you want to grab while you can?
He's going to put his cloak of protection back on. He's going to pull out the javelin or the lance that he had taken from that dark elf, and
Okay.
he's then in his other hand going to pull out the anchor.
All right. Inquisition lance in one hand and dredge anchor in the other. You guys are starting to look like a proper D&D party. All these magic items.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, man, Gil's. Why?
Neon, anything from you?
Well, I'm gonna get my armor back, and of course my axe and the hacking
And
tool,
my axe.
preferably.
Yeah, well, you already have the hacking tool, so yeah, just your
Yeah,
Peacekeeper uniform and your ionic axe.
Matthew.
Yeah.
What's up?
And my axe.
And my axe. Okay. And Lucian, anything for you?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop the disguise because I don't need it up here. And then I will get out my little stick and push the button and let it become a staff again. And basically ready to go.
Okay. Caleb, you tighten the last clasp of your armor, scimitar and dagger at the ready. Keto, you pull the last button on yours and load.
Until we finish it, because you said it's going to be the last part of it.
Keto, you pull back your crossbow and load a shot, ready to go. Neon, ionic axe in one hand, hacking tool in the other, and suppressor pistol in your jacket. Gil, Inquisition lance in one hand, dredge anchor chained over your shoulder, and Lucian, your staff extending as you slam it into the ground. Zephyr, still downstairs, but with any luck, he may regroup with you later. Speaking of, Zephyr, any change of action while this elevator ride is happening, or are you just going to continue letting them, quote-unquote, patch you up and get you to a hospital? Zephyr? You're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I was typing. The problem is I'm trying not to be suspicious, so I just...
That's fair. I just don't want to leave you behind, so I want to make sure that if you want to do anything different, you have the option to. You want to just keep going along with it for now?
For now, he's looking for an opening just to see if he can, like, get away from the guards.
Okay, noted. We'll come back to you.
Stop stalling.
I'm not stalling. Jesus Christ. Try to...
I just yanked you.
The elevator door slides open. Neon, you find yourself in a place that you've heard so much about, that's influenced your life in such quiet and subtle ways, but you've never seen. The Foxfire Network Tower Chamber. Caleb, as you step out, you're immediately awestruck by everything around you. This monument to ancient technology that the Geogrins, the troops of Tradu, the surface dwellers hardly understand. Even the people down here barely understand. Ancient, powerful technology of a bygone age, buried beneath the earth and repurposed by the traders of Geogr, who refuse to return to their imperialistic homeland and serve them any further. Kero, you see in the center of this massive chamber is this huge tower of stacked network cables. And connecting all of them, you can see what is unfamiliar to you other than vague sites you've seen in the facility you guys explored, but what Neon, you instantly recognize as processors, RAM disks, various computer parts that are basically haphazardly stacked on top of each other and bound together with wiring to connect them all. It's as if rather than having everything go to one small thing, but everyone having a personal device, it's almost as if all devices are just here and extending their influence like a virus over the entire city.
Mm-hmm.
This place is boiling hot. All of you immediately begin to sweat as soon as you step out of the elevator.
I regret putting my armor back on.
And
Gil would like to do a quick sweep to make sure nobody's here.
Gil, looking around, you see that you're currently on what appears to be a slightly metallic graded walkway. And from the looks of it, this chamber has a sort of circular surrounding platform like that. And then several bridges connecting to that central tower of networking devices. And lining the walls, pretty much anywhere that an elevator isn't, you can see the walls are lined with displays and keyboards and even more network cards and processors. And Gil, make me a perception check. Lucian, I will say as Gil's doing that, Lucian, as you step out into the boiling hot room, you can see that there's actually a connection to this room on every floor. This elevator just taking you up to the highmost portion of it. And you see that there are actually multiple elevators and hallways that connect to this room. And as you step forward and take a peek over the edge, you can see that it is a long way down. You're effectively at the top of the tower in this central chamber that occupies the entire building. And Caleb and Gil, you suddenly think you may know where that dumbwaiter likely goes.
Yeah, I was just actually about to ask about that.
Where does it go?
Into this room, presumably to deliver food and drinks to the people who work in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I got a 17.
Yeah, and exactly. So that's why they can't just deliver. Basically, the elevator would take too long, so they had to set up the dumbwaiter so that these people wouldn't sweat themselves to death. And Gil, as you look around, you can see there's a lot of people at work on the various terminals. The central tower itself is mostly clear, but there are several elven scientists looking at the ones on the walls and just upkeeping them, making sure they're all working properly, some making repairs. They do not seem to have immediately seen you guys yet, although that may change.
Mm-hmm.
So Gil's going to hold his hand up to the others, and he is going to silently rage and take on his Icar form.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a
Depressed.
a goddamn minute.
Yeah, depressed,
How
angry
the
Gil.
fuck are you going to quietly rage?
That's your problem there.
Angry people.
Yeah, tranquilizer is the thing. I'll allow it. It's not a game mechanic that you have to scream, all right? You rage, and you all watch as Gil immediately begins to convert into the Icary form that they typically take.
Brown disapprovingly.
And he's going to quietly creep towards the other, the scientists. And then when he's about 15 feet from them, he's going to very loudly shout in Elvish, away, y'all need to get away from those, on the floor, in the middle, where I can see you all.
Make an intimidation check.
It sounds like a...
Get out.
Well, not getting out, that means they would have to... They would leave.
Would my parents give me advantage?
No.
Aww.
And that's why you did that, and then you just revert back and alright.
Come on, Matthew. You'd be pretty intimidated if an Icar monster fucking...
I can't just give the players advantage every single roll. Come on.
Well, It's not needed. It's a 22.
All right. The scientist turns and doesn't even really take in the appearance, just the scream on its own, and then mixed with seeing a big, intimidating thing next to him, he immediately lowers to the ground and raises his hands. However, he also screams. And everyone on every floor, kind of some craning their neck upwards, others across the pit looking over, and screams begin to break out all throughout the chamber. The scientists all put their hands up and fall to the ground on the floor you're on, and even some on the floor below you, but you can hear those on the bottom floors immediately beginning to panic and run around and scream. And Neon, as everything echoes around you deafeningly to your sensitive ears, you can distinctly make out one scientist on one of the lower floors. Call the Peacekeepers! Get them in here!
Oh, God.
Oh,
Neon, get to work. Get to work.
Well,
You had to do
I'm
your
going to
job.
go ahead and do that.
Yeah, the depressed, angry Gil
I was gonna
is.
say now's a good time.
This is why we shouldn't have depressed, angry.
Theoretical question, Matthew.
Theoretical answer.
If Caleb was to hide by one of the doors and let the Peacekeepers come in and he attacks them from behind, would that count as surprising them?
I will say basically, I'll say that counts as surprise. They didn't know you were there at all, and you got the first turn on them. So yeah, I count that as surprise.
Okay, so that way I can get my crit on surprise on them.
All right.
I could kill at least one. I have a decent enough chance to kill at least one Peacekeeper before.
I'm gonna try to stay closer to Neon on the inside, because he's gonna need the buffs. More
you already have the buffs on him, right? Don't you already buffed him?
Yeah, you already have concentration on him.
I can't. Yeah, but I can't cast anything else while I'm having concentration. So.
Well, you can cast spells. You just can't.
Yeah, you just can't cast another concentration spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's how concentration.
All right. So here, I actually have a battle map for this. Everyone, go ahead and check the Roll20 if that matters to you.
Yeah. Oh, there's
We can see how you made a circular platform.
I didn't.
Yeah.
All right, so Lucian's close to Neon. Caleb's by the door.
I'm way over here.
Yeah, let's just put you up in the corner.
Yeah, and there's one other thing Gil's gonna do before combat starts. He's gonna look at all the scientists and then motion towards the elevators to get them out, so they don't sabotage Neon.
Make another intimidation check.
I just got to do it again.
Yeah.
Come on, surely he gets advantage because he seeded the previous ones that are already scared.
No, I actually have an internal reasoning for it that I'm going to explain on his roll.
Got a reason.
And I gotta change my display name real quick.
I mean, it's not a huge deal, but yeah, feel free. All right, and Kara, where do you want?
It's a natural 20.
All right, and real quick, Kara, where do you want to be positioned? Caleb is taking up position by one of the doors to ambush any peacekeepers that come in. Gil is by a different elevator. Lucian and Neon are
so big.
Because I presume that Neon's going to call out Morgan as soon as things get rough. So I just wanted to be prepared. But yeah, I'll go ahead and shrink them down to normal Neon size for now.
Can they hack in Morgan?
Not with this particular tool, but again, they have the ability to just call them down if the need arises. So, but yeah. So, Kara, where do you want to position yourself?
So I'm loading Roll20 in.
All right. Well, you should be able to move your token, so just feel free to move yourself wherever you like. You have time before the Peacekeepers get here. That being said, Gil, you can see the scientists kind of hesitate a little bit because they basically. There's a bunch of armed terrorists all around them, and they don't want to start moving around and drawing attention to themselves. But at your insistence, they kind of squealing run into the elevator and start kind of jamming the button, almost scared that if it comes too slowly, you're going to cut their heads off with that anchor of yours.
Sorry, would an anchor? I don't think an anchor cuts things. I'm pretty sure it'd be more.
Do you think a computer technician knows that, or that Gil won't be willing to try?
Plus, there's other people who have blades.
He's considering it, but they're not the ones that he's angry at.
Angry at himself as he's.
Perpetually
No,
stupid.
he's angry at the Peacekeepers and the Commissioner.
Again, he's angry at himself. He's just like, everything I do is bad.
Oh, that too.
He's just like angsty boy.
Okay. Kato, you level your crossbow at the elevator to the left. Gil, you and Raccoon are in position by the elevator on the right. As the elevator finally comes, the scientists file in and immediately disappear through it. And Caleb, you're waiting in an ambush position on the elevator you guys came from.
One I would want to be from, because that's the one that Neon's near, so those are the ones that would disrupt him, so Caleb would have to deal with them.
So at the moment, one elevator is unguarded. Zephyr, just to be sure, before things start to get crazy, you're just going to continue going along with the Peacekeepers thing for now?
Well...
I am very stupid. I went to Roll20 from Caleb's page, so hold
on. I mean, I guess, is anything going on right now? Or is it just them?
Yeah, I will say, about 2 minutes have passed with them. They bandage up your leg and splint it, and they look to you with a kind smile and, all right, you should be all right. It doesn't look like it's too deep. I know it hurts, but we'll get you to a hospital. And you immediately start to notice some kind of murmuring and discontent among the guests as Peacekeepers start to kind of rush around a little bit. And finally you see one of the two, the one who is not treating you directly and just kind of holding you up, kind of tilts their head and you can hear some muttering coming through their earpiece that matches the one you have. And finally he looks to his buddy and, shit, this is bad. We got terrorists in the network chamber. Kid, you're gonna be all right if we leave you here for a little bit.
I think I can manage.
All right, get somewhere safe and stay put. We'll come find you. Just stay safe. We gotta go. And they both draw their crossbows and start running their way back in, along with the two guards that have been distracted by your display and come to take the door patrol. And between the panicking guests who still aren't really looking at you much, now that your injury's treated, you're not caterwauling anymore, and you're still a servant fundamentally. And you can see Queen Bee kind of running a hand along her dress, presumably where she's hidden a weapon, and just looking to you and to the surroundings, like almost waiting for things to escalate further. Zephyr, what do you do?
Well, the guards have finally left me, so Zephyr will sigh as, the party's fucked up again. At least they lasted longer than he expected, though.
Hey, you and Neon said 3 minutes. They technically lasted 33.
Yeah.
Because you guys did the servant act for a half hour and then about 2 minutes before you got caught. Yeah. So 33 minutes in total, roughly.
We did it, gamers.
Well, there wasn't really any way to not get caught in that situation.
Well, I mean, get someone who sees us.
Hey, I'm a peacekeeper. I'm just here to do a routine check on the network. Just mind your own business. I got this covered.
In a servant's outfit.
Well, he had his peacekeeper uniform on now.
Yeah, he's his armor, probably.
Well, that's Gil's fault, not the party's.
Yeah, so what do you want to do, Zephyr?
Acted before we could do anything.
But I guess a depressed, angry Gil. Since he's got that lance, it makes him depressed. Well,
always putting up our theory.
I guess knowing about the shoot, going up the main area is probably not good. I would like to go to the kitchen at kind of like once he gets to the door, he'll take off the bandages. He'll kind of take off the bandages and then go into the kitchen fully.
All right, Zephyr, as you start running into the kitchen. You're like stripping off the bandages as you go. Your pant leg of your suit is kind of torn up now, but you're otherwise good. But as you start to approach the kitchen, you actually have to fight your way through like a wave of the servants panicking as they exit, and you can hear the voice of the Peacekeeper on the other side. Everyone out! Evacuate! This is not a drill! As everyone starts panicking and running out the door. Do you want to try and get past the Peacekeeper who's trying to evacuate everyone?
So, yeah, I'm going to... I was going to plan on doing this anyways. I'm going to go invisible. and sneak past them.
You smuggled in your stealth suit.
Yeah, that's the main reason I had that. Like, I can go invisible. That and my AC.
Zephyr, slamming the button on your belt, you fade from view. And as you scuttle your way past the Peacekeeper and the panicking servants, many of whom trip over you while they're invisible but don't realize it, the Peacekeeper gives one final sweep of the kitchen before slamming the kitchen door shut and locking it.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully for Zephyr's sake, this goes somewhere important. Well, I guess he could pick it, but he will go use.
Vader.
Yeah, he's gonna go to the dumb Vader. He's gonna try to use that thing.
All right. Looking around, you see there's a very simple elevator-style up and down button next to it. Which one do you hit?
I presume they went up. So.
All right. Slamming the up button, you're easily small enough to fit into this dumbwaiter. In fact, it's actually quite comfortable for you. And the door slowly shuts, and you feel yourself having that same kind of stomach churning of rising up the building.
Mm-hmm.
This might take a while.
Waltz of the Flowers just starts playing.
Yeah, just stock elevator music.
Well, I assume it's faster. It's smaller.
Yeah, it's smaller and it's just meant to transport. But bear in mind, they don't want to go too fast and end up like spilling the drink and stuff everywhere. Neon, whipping out your hacking tool as Lucian watches over your shoulder to make sure that you still maintain your advantage. Make me a hacking tools check.
Well,
Assuming that's what you want to do.
With advantage.
I just want to hit it with my axe. No.
Bang on him.
I mean, I guess that's one way to.
I got a 19
Yeah,
and a
hack
7.
it to pieces.
All right. Neon, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Yeah, I can do that.
Does he get advantage on that?
No, because that's only.
Yeah, he only has intelligence.
Yeah, it only buffs or gives advantage on intelligence.
I'm trying to figure out something else too. Don't worry.
You're doing your bit. Your whole shebang.
Neon, dex save?
17.
Okay. Neon, as you insert the hacking tool, Lucian, you kind of watch nervously. Not exactly sure what Neon's doing per se, but just wanting it to go well, and you give them as much magical aid as you can. Caleb, with your daggers and with your blades at the ready. Kero, taking aim with your crossbow. Gil, with Raccoon on your back, readying your own weapons by another elevator. And Zephyr, unbeknownst to all of you, rising his way up via dumbwaiter. Neon, you see the screen of the terminal flash red and flash the familiar lightning-bolted monocle symbol of Dr. Coulomb.
Mm.
I make a hissing sound.
You take...
Oh.
Bullshit, a 17 failed?
Well, it could be that it's like a even on fail takes half.
That's true.
You take 16 lightning damage.
Okay, there's no way that was half.
That stung.
I mean, even then, we're talking about Coulomb here.
Neon.
To figure out anything else I can do.
Neon, as you insert the hacking tool, you have just enough time to register what you're looking at before a electrical pulse travels up the robotic arm and directly into you. And Lucien, you watch as Neon is actually launched back several feet, still clutching the robot arm to himself. As Neon, your muscles convulse and your heart races as electricity courses through you. And the entire network tower chamber begins to glow red.
Sorry, are we gonna fail instantly? Because I would be very disappointed. Have all this build up, and then he just makes one roll and fails.
Well, I literally said that I had a thing where that would not be the case. Neon, as you pull yourself up, still twitching a little bit, what do you want to do?
I want to keep hacking, if that's an option.
Make me a general intelligence check.
Will do.
You have advantage.
Yeah.
20. Oh.
Woo!
Neon, you've seen this before. Coulomb has implemented a physical firewall. You can hack this machine, but you need to basically get into the wiring beneath it and cut whatever device Coulomb planted in there that's basically programmed to send a signal if anyone unauthorized gets into it and electrocute them. Presumably to death, as even with your training, that stung a lot.
Yeah.
That's very
First thing we do when we get to Sun Dragon, Neon, I'm going to buy you a pint.
Neon, do you want to attempt to remove Coulomb's device?
Yes, I do.
Do you have Tinker Tools?
No, I do not, actually. Well,
I thought the gloves. Didn't the glove?
I thought you did.
Yeah, I know I have the hacking tool, but I don't know. I can't remember if the gloves counted as Tinker Tools or not. Let me check.
Something that counted as Tinker Tools.
Yeah, you had something that like multi-tasked as a set of Tinker Tools.
No, I don't have Tinker Tools.
Okay. In that case,
maybe I forgot to add it.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I forgot to add it back when my character sheet got nuked or something, but I can't remember.
Well, regardless, make me a general intelligence check then.
All right.
Advantage.
Yeah, you do still have advantage because Lucien's buffing you.
Yeah, I do what I do.
Advantage every time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, until Lucien loses concentration, anyway.
I have nothing else I can do. Leave me alone.
9 and then a 22.
Yeah.
Neon, acting quickly. I'm gonna guess at this point you're not really that concerned about stealth.
No, of course not.
I mean,
Neon, using your ionic axe, you do what you had seen the Peacekeepers do in the Icar facility and just carve a hole into the terminal and yank the metal out, still burning. And you can indeed see among all the wires and diodes and motherboards a big, out-of-place flashing device that has Coulomb's emblem emblazoned proudly on it as it glows red.
I make a gagging sound.
At least he made it obvious.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, he literally puts his icon on literally everything he's ever done.
He's like a 12-year-old girl with a fucking notebook.
Yeah.
Honestly,
in comparison.
Honestly, I think it's very interesting because it kind of shows like maybe he's not the smartest guy in the room.
Or his ego kind of has to compete with his actual intelligence.
Yeah, he's got too much ego.
He actually does have a legitimate backstory reason for it, but you guys will maybe find that out someday. That being said, Neon, what do you do?
This is very interesting, Matthew, by the way.
Thing?
Thank you.
Device.
Yeah, you do see the device. It basically seems to be like directly welded into the surrounding wires and boards.
I want to try and very carefully, hopefully, take my proton axe and just shave it off, basically.
All right. Make me another dex save.
Okay.
Defense mechanism for the defense mechanism.
Well, no, this thing is already programmed to electrocute people through the metal. Neon's now going to be touching it directly and setting it off.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I just thought he had like a defense mechanism on the defense mechanism,
Yeah,
which
like
has a
keep it
defense
touching it.
mechanism.
15.
All right.
Owie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 17's gonna fail then. You just take a bit of damage.
You take 18 more lightning damage.
Yeah.
However, as you your whole body clenches, you force yourself to basically just more using it as like essentially a prying mechanism than an actual slicing motion. You hack your ionic axe through the thing and it flies out of your hand, and you can see it's still sparking violently as it slides onto the metal floor. And thankfully, with the sheer amount of metal around it, it does start to channel through it, but while the metal does begin to warm up, it does not actually conduct into you yet.
Mm-hmm. How are you looking health-wise, Neon?
Not good, I'm gonna say.
Alright, I'm gonna pump some healing into him. I'm gonna do a quick...
No, it's just a quick spell cast.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pump do a... Let's do a 3rd level Cure Wounds on him.
Okay.
That should do 22 health.
Okay, Neon, you heal for 22.
All right.
And you said the little thing came out of...
Yes, Neon literally could not physically keep a grip on it with it electrocuting him.
So, and these are we're on a walkway basically, right?
Yeah, you're on a big metal catwalk.
Things
Can Gil
tingly.
kick it off the walkway?
Of course. All right, so running your way over to past where Neon is, Neon thankfully seeming okay. You run over to where Neon had dropped it and just kick it over the side. And you can see it continuing to spark violently as it falls all the way down. Caro, you kind of track it because Gil had to go past you to kick it. You watch kind of interestedly as Gil just kicks it and it goes sailing down. Neon, the terminal is carved open, but it seems like you removed the device. You want to take another crack at hacking this thing?
Yes, I do.
All right. Dusting yourself off, straightening your jacket, readying your arm. Make me a hacking tools check with advantage.
Doing it.
But now Coulomb knows you're there.
God fucking damn, Jesus Christ. 18 and 22.
Woo!
Complaining about good rolls.
No, he's like saying, like, good lord, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, whoa! Okay.
This is what Neon's good at.
Neon, remember how I said I had bigger plans for you than just a simple make a few rolls and that determines the hack off?
Yes.
We'll come back to you in just a second.
Uh-oh.
I'm telling you, Matthew, this goes until it's finished. You said this is going to be the last episode.
I said that we were like beginning the grand finale of this segment. That being said, Gil, as soon as you kick the thing over the side, several things begin to happen in rapid succession. First, Neon jams their robot arm into one of the USB ports and begins to type away. This one having an interface you're far more familiar with, Neon, as you begin to... There's no other word for it, and I think it bears saying, epically hack.
Dude, am I hacking the planet right now, dude?
Yeah, you begin to hack the planet.
Dude, hell yeah, hack the planet.
Lucy and Gil, who can immediately see what's happening, you are completely unfamiliar with what's going on screen, what's happening, but Neon is right in their element. Their hands are a blur. As Neon, your intrusion has been detected, and Coulomb does not intend to let the network go without a fight. But you're very focused on that, which means your attention is not drawn towards what gets everyone else's attention afterwards. Kero, several things begin to happen. First, you watch as there's kind of a and a small set of metal doors on one of the opposite walls slides open, and Zephyr.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
Welcome to the party.
Zephyr appears on the other side of the dumbwaiter. Zephyr, again, it was very comfortable, not cramped at all. And looking around, you see all the tower of technology. You can't see Neon and Lucian on the other side of it, but you see Gil, Raccoon, and Kero taking up defensive positions on one side of it opposite you. And immediately you hear behind you a small ding, and the elevator doors all around you all begin to slide open. Caleb, from your door, make me a stealth check.
Stealth check, and I get advantage on stealth.
Yeah, because of the boots.
So that would be...
What's this on a boot?
I'm going to use inspiration because I don't like either of those rolls.
Okay.
Okay, that is going to be a 24.
All right. Caleb, seeming to not notice you at all, 3 peacekeepers run out from the door you guys had previously come up through and level their weapons at Neon and Lucian. Neon
tries to attack them.
Give me just a second. Lucian, you can see Caleb
attack them before they can attack.
I'm gonna do my best to.
Well, they're not attacking yet. And Zephyr, you hear behind you that bing, and 2 hulking, fully repaired security drones step out. Kero, Gil, directly across the walkway from you, 3 more peacekeepers file out, crossbows at the ready. And Lucian, you look over your shoulder and see opposite you, 3 more file in. We have you surrounded! Drop your weapons!
Can we say that it's one of the ones on Caleb's side that is?
It is, actually.
Alright, can I surprise attack them now?
Go for it.
Yep,
and since they haven't taken an action in combat, I get advantage.
Yep, go for it.
Which means I get sneak attack on the first one.
Alright, go for it.
What were you saying, Lucian?
Yeah, Lucian, go ahead while he's rolling.
I'm gonna say no, you, and cast guiding bolt.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
No, you guiding bolt. Okay. Well, no, attack. It's guiding.
Only spell I have up right now that's not concentration.
And Gil.
Gonna be a 23 to hit with the scimitar.
That is a hit.
All right. And this counts as a crit.
Yeah, because you hit on a surprise round. So.
All right, and that means I get to double both, right? The damage it does and the
sneak attack, yes.
And then add modifier.
Yep.
So it's basically gonna be. Do I double the result of the rolls, or I double the dice rolled?
So let's say you roll a d6. If you roll a 3, you then double that. Or if you roll a 2, you then double that.
Double the roll.
Yeah.
I believe we ask this every single time we get double damage.
Because it's based off the DM, and it's like some DMs are like, just double the result, or just roll more dice. I think by the book it's roll more dice, but most.
Yeah, but I find that kind of lame. So. Woo! I crit. I did 1 extra damage. Woo!
I mean, technically, you could do the same with it's the same range technically.
No, I know it's the same range. It's a technicality, I know, but still.
Like if you roll a 1, it's like, woo! I did 2 damage.
1, 2, 3.
But yeah.
4.
He's probably dead.
Yeah. So, with that first attack, on the guy shouting, Caleb does 45 damage.
Caleb, how do you want to kill him?
Yeah, well, I figured.
How hard does his head explode?
Just jumps straight on him and just rams the sword through his back.
Caleb, as you do that, the one that was next to him starts leveling his crossbow at you. Lucian, how'd you do on your guiding bolt?
I got a natural 9, so that would be 26 to hit.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
Alrighty.
By the way, I have 2 weapon fighting.
All right, well, we'll get to you in just a second. Just want to see if Lucian can get this one out of the way for you.
That would be 19 radiant damage.
All right. Let me get a calculator up real quick. 45, 19. Okay. All right. Caleb, as you fall to the ground with your victim, the guy that was next to him levels his crossbow at you, but is then struck by a bolt of brilliant light from Lucian's staff. And as he's trying to decide which target to focus on, you said you want to make another attack?
It's going to make an attack with his dagger, which he can't do his
sneak attack again, but you still have them caught by surprise.
So it's still a crit, and I still have advantage to hit. Because this guy is also not taking a turn.
Yeah, and is surprised.
That'll be 21.
I'll also to make sure to tell Neon, you
Could
just
be 24
focus
to
on
hit.
what you're doing, I'll protect you.
I do like the okay sign with one hand.
All right. And one more time, Caleb?
That's going to be 24 to hit.
Okay. That is a hit. Roll for damage.
That's unfortunately going to be only 8 damage, despite the crit.
All right.
Well,
It's still 8 damage you hadn't taken yet.
Yeah, like 2 weapon fighting, the second attack's like, does some decent.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra. Okay. Anything else from... Yeah, hold up. Anything else from Lucian or Caleb?
Oh, hell yeah.
Caleb was going to jump at them. Could I try to say that, like, because he jumps on them, he can knock them prone, or...
No, I'm going to say, like, you would have to specify that preemptively, so I'm going to say no. But you do plunge your dagger into his stomach. Zephyr, you can just make out the scene happening across the chamber from you, and you're a little proud of your brother. He's in his element. And Lucian, bear in mind, you have to do something that is not an action to do. But is there something else you'd like to do?
Not an action, huh?
Possibly a bonus action or...
Yeah, I'm looking at my bonus actions right now.
Bear in mind, you can only cast a bonus action spell if it's a cantrip.
Oh, yeah,
right,
true.
I know.
You don't have any.
What else I can do? No, I'm just gonna shield Neon with my body.
That's
okay.
Not a cantrip, so...
Nope,
I was going to ask...
Just use my movement to shield my body
from shield them
any harm.
Right.
No, I do have shield up. I'm not gonna
like for flavor. She's like just protecting him. Okay. Yeah. Caleb.
I was about to ask if like Caleb counts as enemy within 5 feet of them, but it specifically says another enemy.
Yeah, no, they're for exactly that reason.
So that like, rogues basically don't have sneak attack on every melee attack they make.
Yeah. Gil, you had something in mind?
Gil's a melee fighter though, so he'll probably get within 5 feet of them.
Assuming he goes for this group.
Yeah, like those big guys over where I am.
Gil is going for the 2
robots.
Mechanical creatures.
Okay. What's your movement speed?
His movement speed is 40 feet.
You do not have the movement speed to get to them without dashing.
And like the dredge anchor though pulls a creature towards me, correct?
Yes.
Is he close enough that he can use the anchor on one of them?
Let me double check. Look at you guys making use of the items I give you.
They're 50 feet away.
Well,
no, I was assuming he uses the end of his movement and then get like from there. I believe it should. Let me just double check before we start moving tokens around.
Inventory.
Yep, within 15 feet of you, you're good.
Exactly.
So moving 40 feet towards them, that would put you there. I'll go ahead and move your token on the battle map.
Did you ever make
I'm going to use my bonus action to rage.
Okay.
Use my first attack action.
Well, no, wait, hold up. Before you commit to that, the dredge anchor is a bonus action to use.
I thought it was an actual action.
No, it's a bonus action to use the dredge anchor. I won't make you commit to the rage yet, because that's why I stopped you. So,
if it's
action?
Rage is a bonus action, but that means he couldn't rage and use the anchor in the same turn.
Yeah. Plus, if the ability,
it was like one of those things where like it becomes a bonus action for him.
Nah.
Yeah. If it's a bonus, if it's an action to use the anchor. Well, yeah. If the anchor's an action, you wouldn't be able to attack twice, probably.
Yeah.
I can't fucking hear.
Then I will not rage yet.
Okay. But you still want to use the anchor then?
Yeah, I want to use the anchor on one of the mechanics to bring it closer. And as it comes in, I'm going to get it with my glaive.
Okay. In that case, so bonus action. Strike a creature has to make a strength save. Not good. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they couldn't possibly succeed that. You all watch as Gil, already starting to sweat ichor, but not quite becoming it yet, flings his anchor outward. Caro, you watch in amazement as something that looks so heavy. He swings over his head and flings it forward, and one of the curved, pointy bits wraps around the robot's torso, and it gives a confused before Gil, you shank it 10 feet towards you.
Which means it's up right next to you.
Which means it is now right in front of you. As you pull the anchor inward to force the robot into melee range, make an attack roll with your glaive.
I was using a lance.
Oh, okay, the lance. You said glaive earlier, so.
Oh, my bad.
All right, go ahead. Attack roll with the Inquisition lance.
17.
Okay, that is a miss.
Ooh. Dang it.
Like tough boys.
Yeah, these are fully repaired, mind you, and one that was in barely functioning was a boss fight for you guys like a level ago. Anything else?
I want to try to hit him again because I have 2 attacks per action.
Yeah. All right, make another attack roll.
Also, you do know that with both armors on, Caleb has an armor class of 16, right?
Yes. Okay. That's why I said to basically keep your equipment on your D&D, because I literally have all of your character sheets pulled up for this fight, since everyone's using slightly different equipment than normal.
I'm pretty sure this one hits.
What'd you get?
Natural 20.
That's a hit. Roll for damage. Let me double check something real quick.
Double result?
Oh,
correct?
yeah. Rage might give him
you
something.
roll one die. You roll your dice, and then you double what you have.
Roll the result, which is what he said.
Mm-hmm. I'm just making sure the automatons are affected by the lance, which it looks like they are. Yep. So first, go ahead and roll damage for the lance itself, and then I will tell you what to roll for the actual emotional damage it does.
Emotional damage. So, robots' emotions.
For the lance, it does 20 damage.
Okay. Now roll me an additional 4d8. These are also part of the crit.
Oh shit, you gonna fucking obliterate this thing.
I'm just thinking, man, emotional damage, just make it feel life, and it's like, why do I exist?
Why do I exist?
Why was I programmed to feel pain?
And that is 28.
Okay. Gil, you take a swing outward, but the machine puts up a holographic shield similar to the one you had seen the one on the surface use, but not being thrown off at all. You force your lance deeper in, and almost as if the misery-creating aura of this thing is wearing its feelings down, it drops the shield, and you manage to make a direct hit into its torso. However, damage like that likely would have done heavy, heavy damage to the one you fought on the surface. It stops for a moment, looks down at the wound, looks back at you, and lets out a low, and its little glowing faceplate turns red.
Oh. Sounds like it might have resistance.
That was a good roll.
Does it get an attack immediately?
No, I'm rolling for Raccoon on Gil's back.
Oh.
Yeah, Raccoon's there.
Yeah, because she does have what? I think I gave her a laser pistol.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
which is what... Yeah, but the laser pistol is actually what she's using now, so...
Oh. So she has disadvantage, right?
Mechanically, no, because she's not actually sharing Gil's space, so she's technically 10 feet away from it, so... doesn't have proficiency, but Raccoon's dex is fairly good. That's a hit. Damn, good rolls, Raccoon. An additional 16 radiant damage. Raccoon peeks over your shoulder, Gil. What's this? And fires the laser pistol, and it takes a chunk off of the automaton's helmet, and it actually does stumble back a little bit before righting its stance. And Gil, you actually see it start to dig hydraulics in its legs into the metal of the floor to basically force itself against you and continue to push forward to get to its Peacekeeper allies. Kato, anything you'd like to do on the surprise round Caleb granted you?
I guess I'll try to shoot at one of the bots.
All right. Make me an attack roll.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah. Thought about getting... I'm curious how that would work if you do it like that. Like
Can you get a proficiency in initiative?
No.
I don't think so.
There's things you can get to buff initiative. I don't think there's anything that's just like proficiency. Like there's a feat you can get that gives you like +5.
There's no way to add your proficiency bonus to initiative?
I don't believe you there is, unless...
I'm not 100% positive, but I know some monsters can. I just don't know if that's a player thing. What'd you get, Carol?
15.
That's a miss, I'm afraid.
Ouch.
But you still have 2 attacks.
Yeah. Well, I'll try again.
All right, 1 bolt down.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to think, should I actually be smart about this?
24.
That is a hit. Roll for damage. It's immune to poison damage and immune to being poisoned as a condition, so it's not even going to make a roll for your poison effect, but you can add anything else.
That's 5 whole damage.
All right. And Keto, you fire 1, but the machine, looking at you with the eye on its right, raises its other arm from Gil and shields against your bolt. But loading quickly, you aim and fire again, and it actually lets its guard down, and for a split second, your arrow finds its mark, and several metal bits and sparks go flying as it kind of stumbles a bit before using Gil as basically a stand to right itself and start trying to push its way forward. And as all of you conclude your attacks, and Zephyr, you're just taking in the situation you just walked into, since effectively your turn was getting here. One of the Peacekeepers, the one who had been stabbed by Caleb and shot at by Lucian, shoves Caleb away and takes cover against Lucian and just, all right, men, take no prisoners! And the Peacekeepers ready their weapons, and the automatons give an affirmative.
Roll initiative.
Well,
Neon.
Yes.
You're familiar with something. this isn't something you're physically experiencing, but you're familiar with a concept. Less one that you were taught, and more one that you came to familiarize yourself with over the course of your designs, your machinations, your engineering. There are many dimensions in this world. There's the mirror world, representing opposites. Ordrone, representing law and stability. The fold, representing chaos, luck, and unpredictability. One that many people of the Third Age do not appreciate is cyberspace, the world of the digital, the world of technology. All the information that's sent through the Foxfire Network Tower has to go somewhere. And while you don't know it, you have taken the form of what is known as a cybernaut, a being from the waking world taking on an avatar in cyberspace.
A battle in cyberspace.
You find yourself in what appears to be almost a void. You can see fleeting ghosts of the elves of Edict as word of the attack begins to spread all throughout the city. Transactions taking place on PDAs, people making panic calls to each other. You're lost to this void of just noise and digitality. But one stands out above them all. A figure cloaked in red, wearing a fine suit and with a fine, thin, and lithe elvish frame. You know this man. You met him once, long ago. He did you a favor. Dr. Empire Coulomb steps forward, his cybernaut avatar cracking its knuckles and stretching his fingers as he steps forward. And the two of you just stare at each other as the digital ghost of all information traveling through the cyber city echoes around you in this dark, red emptiness. How did I know this was going to end up happening at some point?
Because you're the bad guys?
Bad guys, huh? He rolls his neck, and when he speaks again, his voice is different. Not the voice you knew him as speaking whenever you first met him in down here, and not even the voice the party knows him to speak. It's this completely new tone, this dark, throaty, bassy voice, and with a much thicker Yavik accent than he normally affects. If you want to see the villains of this story, I suggest you look to your left.
Well, I don't imagine there's anybody next to me in cyberspace, so...
Neon, you kind of glance out of in the waking world, you glance to your periphery, and you just get a look as Gil runs past you to go engage the android.
Thing in real life.
They're not the ones holding my city hostage.
You make a fair point, Kitsune. I'll make you a deal. I'll give you Edict. I don't want it. I've gotten everything I need out of it. What I do want is the elf's head on a spike. Offer me Gil, and I will spare your city. I can even make it better. With my genius and your engineering, we could make this city a utopia.
That's very tempting, but I get the distinct feeling that you're full of shite.
I suppose there's no way to tell if I'm lying here, but he holds up a hand and waves his fingers, and you see a tiny little version of Morgan held in his fingers.
Oh yeah, because he's in the system now.
Right now, with a flick of a button, I take back what I gave you all those years ago, Neon. I kill Morgan. I'm not going to do that. And he waves his hand and tosses you the little figurine of Morgan, giving you Morgan's data. I don't want your life. I don't want Morgan's. I don't want Caro's. I don't even want Mr. Lefakir's life. What I want is the Gyoga boy. Dead. I'm not even asking you to kill him. Deliver him to me in Gyoga, and I will spare your city, and I'll even work with you to make it better.
Why such animosity for him? I don't recall him mentioning anything that he did to you specifically, do I?
Of course he wouldn't remember me. He takes a step towards you. That family destroyed mine. He took everything from me. So I'm going to take everything from him. Gyoga will fall. Their empire will burn, and I will see the general and his son and daughter burned on pikes!
Is Coulomb like we are?
My man got issues, man. Jesus, let it go. Move on, fam.
I wonder if he's like us and that he has multiple people in him.
Probably. They probably all do.
I don't bear any ill will to you, Neon. You and I are kindred spirits. Our genius is never appreciated. You and I are always the smartest people in the room, and nobody knows it. You want a safe city, and I want a dead elf. We can help each other out.
So it's as simple as that, eh? I turn and put one in his back, and that's it?
That's it. I have no interest in the Concord. I have no interest in the Icker or whatever business Lucifer has with his sister. I don't care about any of that. Hey. I joined for one reason and one reason alone.
Hey,
to
DM.
Destroy the Gyoga family.
Hey, DM. I don't know if it's kind of up to you. Do you think it would be within reason if I was able to record audio?
I will allow that.
I'm literally shaking with anger.
You don't even know what's going on.
I'm physically shaking. I'm so angry.
Make me another hacking tools check.
Can do.
You have advantage.
You do.
I do remember this. A dirty
forget.
20 and then a 4.
All right, dirty, and that's a dirty 20 in total?
Yes, total.
Okay. You hit a few buttons, and so in effect, this will be more recording the text of the conversation. As remember, this is just a digital representation, but yes, you can record this conversation.
Perfectly fine. If you don't care for the Concord, then why do you work with them?
Many people have tried to destroy the Gyogers over the years. Their empire shrunk, to be sure, but the family lives. Even when I killed their son the first time, he didn't stay dead.
So then, assuming my elven friend here bit the big one, you would just leave just like that?
There would only be 2 Gyogers left in the world. The general and his daughter.
Hey, DM, correct me if I'm wrong. Is he not dating Lucian's brother or something?
Yeah, Lucian has mentioned to you before that he is in a relationship.
That's why I'm literally shaking with anger right now.
Wait, what about Gil's mother? She's Gilgren. Does he not count for her?
Well, I mean,
doesn't seem like it. He didn't mention her.
Probably she's not an immediate family. It's from your father's side.
Someone who married in.
Yeah, I shouldn't care.
And what of your boyfriend? Is he not part of it?
He's not part of this, but... And you can see his expression soften a little bit. Once we both have what we want, we intend to leave the country. Let the Concord do whatever they want with it. We both have our uses for the Concord, and that's where our relationship with them ends.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So just kill Gil. That's a movie. Favorite movie.
If you feel comfortable, I admit a part of me wants to watch it happen. Watch the life leave his eyes. I want him to beg me to spare him. I want him to leave this world as he gets dragged down to the abyss below. I want him to know who took his life from him. I want him to know it was me.
So DM, what am I dealing with in the cyberspace? Do I just still have my gear?
Yeah, effectively, you are still you mechanically.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
inside checks don't work in the cyberspace.
You could still make them, but you would effectively be making them at disadvantage because you're working purely off of what he's typing.
Makes perfect sense. So, and now one more question, and I'm, again, not sure if Neon would know this, and I just don't. Would bringing Morrigan out in the cyberspace thing, would that be a possible thing?
That is 100% doable. We've established already that Morrigan is a primarily digital being that is given physical form by the troops of Through technology.
All right, just wanted to make sure. Cool.
Yeah.
You killed that motherfucker for me.
I won't kill him. I'll just cyberspace.
Knock him out of the system.
I don't care. Just do it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If it had been someone like Lucian, I might have taken you up on your offer, but unfortunately for us both, I kind of like Gil.
What is there to like about an evil monster like that?
Bitch,
He's
see
not
if
so
I help
bad
you.
once you get to know him.
Take it back.
No, and I'm gonna throw out Morrigan.
His cybernaut form draws what appears initially to be a flintlock pistol, but you notice it has very fancy looking engravings on it, and he twirls it and brings it to bear, and just fine. I suppose it's time you repay the favor I did you anyway. Say goodbye to Morrigan, Neon.
Oh.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yeah.
No!
You said this is the fucking finale. It's not fucking over yet.
The problem is
Fine.
if we kept going, it would be till the end. It'd be like 3 o'clock.
It would be 2 in the morning at best.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Take a break.
Oh.
Well, now we can plan strategies.
You guys see the battle map. You know what you're dealing with, so you have time to formulate plans.
Yeah.
Problem is, I can't see the battle map, Matthew.
Sneak attack.
If you want to see more of my DMing, check out twitch.tv/Grahamcrackers, GRAMECRACKERZ, for my Friday campaign, The Goldshine Investigations, at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, featuring a party of investigators unraveling the cultish conspiracy that threatens to plunge their home into war. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Currently down for maintenance at the moment, but soon will be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer hacking an elf who seems to really have an issue. Check the link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly, and support our episodes posted on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get them from. It's a lot of places. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 9:30 Central Daylight Time at twitch.tv/Odd Productions. Check us out as Odd Tornado Productions on YouTube to catch up on what you may have missed. And check out Odd Tornado Productions official on Tumblr to find links to all of our other stuff, including our Human Rogues Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Killer5. That is 5 with a PH. Don't get it wrong. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. That link is about to be posted as well. Or on Ko-fi at kofi.com/OddTornadoProductions. And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd. The TNO are, in fact, capitalized. If you like this party and want to see more of them, plus or minus a few, check out our Monday game, also taking place at 9:30 Central Daylight Time, to catch our Monday game, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globe-trotting treasure hunters trying to assemble the artifacts of the gods to unlock what is either a incredibly valuable treasure or an incredibly dangerous curse. One of the two.
Currently, two of them are trying not to get splattered on the ground.
Indeed. Thanks, everyone at the table, so much for playing. Thanks, everyone at home, so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.